How's it going, everybody? Welcome, creatures of the night. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Nightcap for January 26, 2022. Hagbird's in the chat. Busting that out that Ernest P. Worrell style. I like it. I like it. You know, I'm a big fan of the Ernest movies. Very wholesome. Wholesome family entertainment. Ernest Saves Christmas, since I've had a kid, has come back into the Christmas movie rotation over the years. But anyways, how's it going, everybody? We're going to do one more night of vegan garbage. So I understand if you got to bounce, you got to bounce. There's only so much of this shit we can all bear together, or we can all deal with. But, you know, we got one more night. This is the last Nightcap before our big debate on Friday. And, but yeah. Also, if you guys want to check some cool stuff out, we started a Reddit page recently. It's r/Zoobox. That was available, so we got it. Big Paul helped us out. Hopped over there, started us a Reddit page, and we're pretty active. Things are at least posted at least once a day. So go check out that stuff there. That'd be cool. We could extend our wonderful conversations into all the time, into forever. But so we're gonna look at some more lighter stuff. We're gonna look at some lighter stuff. Some just more kind of ephemeral, like BBC. There's a few. I think I got a couple of just random YouTube people. But we're going to watch some Jubilee videos. They had a couple funny ones. Vegans versus meat eaters. Is eating animals wrong? Hunters versus vegans. That's some like good like TLC trash TV stuff. And then, yeah. So Trami says, it's the last Nightcap before the last Nightcap YouTube will ever let you do. Quite possibly. We'll see how it goes. Hagbird says, I've already posted. Awesome, Hagbird. Thank you so much, buddy. And also, hey. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? We're gonna start it off. Since just this is gonna annoy Prophet. We're gonna watch. So we got one last little promo that I made, and I think it's very funny. So we're gonna watch that real quick. Watch that so I can get my my stuff situated here, and it's gonna be a good time. Hold on here.
A pit where men are thrown to suffer and die. But sometimes a man rises from the darkness. Sometimes the pit sends something back.
Started the fire.
Yes, the fire rises.
Oh my goodness, the fire rises. That shit was making me laugh so hard when I thought of making it, and then I made it. I dreamed it, and then it became real. Prof says, I dropped some lemons on you a bit, but I spent all my money on these MREs. Why the fuck do I have all these MREs? Because you live in the fucking boonies, my friend, and you gotta stay warm. You gotta have those essentials, you know? Nico should take a page out of your book. He should be stocking up on MREs too. All right, so this first video we're gonna watch is called "Vegan versus Livestock Farmer." It's gonna be awesome. Edward says you're debating Tiny Pete Steele.
I get offended seeing pints of milk. I physically can't look at cheese. It sends like shivers down my spine.
Thank you, Tarami. Thank you. Appreciate it. I would have went forever. I would have went a long time. I would have went for a long time. I had it clicked off because earlier I was capturing footage using OBS.
I've been brought up around farming since the day I was born. I'm passionate in producing food to feed the country and the rest of the world. I've been brought up around farming my entire life, and as a result, I'm proud to be part of feeding the country and feeding the world. British farmers have some of the highest standards of animal welfare, traceability, and environmental protection than any other farmers anywhere.
What a dichotomy. What a juxtaposition we have here. We have the trust fund beta, and the working stiff Chad.
In the world, but at the same
Yo,
time, we
what's up,
don't tell
Paul?
people what they should eat. We grow what they want to eat. People should have access to accurate information and be able to make their own decisions in terms of what they want to eat and how they should live their lives.
Dude, I understand your perspective. What do you think about the ability to essentially clone flesh and replicate the taste of an animal? I guess, would you consider... Do you want to sit down? Can we...
This is another thing that they always go to. Like, it's about the sensory experience. How could you take a life for 15 minutes of sensory experience? That's all it's about with them. Like, well, what if you could concoct a weird science fiction synthetic meat, which I know that they are doing. It's very unsettling. But what if you could do that? What if you lived in a different place? What if the sky turned red? Would you still say it was blue?
We sit and talk face to face. Would you like that? I feel great about losing the challenge. I'd like to continue the conversation though, if you're okay with that.
I'm completely happy to do that.
Let me get another chair. Do you want to sit down?
I'm Josh, by the way.
Josh.
Nice to meet you.
No,
Just brimming with entitlement. Just brimming with entitlement. Hagbard says, I'm all about cloning meat. I want to have a Hagbard burger. I have to do a little bit more than cloning meat, my friend.
On that one, when I shook his hand, I could feel the suffering that those animals have had to endure.
Dude, he could feel it on a spiritual level, on the spiritual plane. Oh, is this Chris Angel? We're being mind freaked?
You know the flesh cloning? I think you should lead the UK in developing that technology.
Prophet says, dude, my chili and beans MRE came with a fruit punch packet. Fuck yeah, best day of my life.
If you develop that, then you'll need like one beautiful cow that is like the most sacred cow in the whole world that delivers meat to everyone. Do you know what I mean? Like that would be amazing, because you know how sentient these creatures are. They just want love. That's all they want. They just want love.
I completely respect somebody's decision to live a vegan lifestyle. To me, it's just the same as voting for who you want to vote for, worshipping what God you want to worship, marrying who you want to marry.
For sure.
For me, choosing what diet you have and what lifestyle you live falls into that. I'm all up for pursuing other options in terms of how we're going to feed the world.
Cool.
But the animals that I've been around my entire life have been farmed in a way that's fair. I don't see why the way...
Trauma says, that would be so amazing. I'd be so rich I could eat meat all day. Prophet says, menu is the preferred nomenclature when speaking of MREs. Oh, my bad. See, that's what I get. That's what I get. That's what I get. I thought it was a typo. Thought I'd correct it on the fly. Boy, was I wrong. My hope and optimism gone.
We produce food, whether that be beef or dairy or lamb, needs to be replaced by that technology.
You do see that as the inevitable future, right?
Personally, no. I can see it could be, but I can't read. I don't have a crystal ball, so I can't see what the future is.
He's like, why not? He's like, I have one. My dad bought it for me. My dad bought it for me after he got me these boots.
Crystal ball. I know what
If you say that that's the future, then I'll have to take your word for it.
Cool.
Obviously, Nick.
This poor kid. He's like, well, if you say that's what it is, I suppose, I guess that's the end of the conversation. Tarami says, parenthetical, good. MREs are kind of great. The ones I got in the Army were tasty shit. I've had a handful of MREs in my life. I don't have a ton of experience with them, but I can tell you this: when you're hungry, they certainly do the job.
Has a crystal ball that you can use to see into the future. I don't have that talent. I'm excited to see if you can read the future, because I certainly can't.
Okay. You can't eat meat. It's a vegan thing. It's a superpower thing. It's sad.
He's like the guys from fucking Scott Pilgrim. He's like the vegans from Scott Pilgrim, the super vegans.
He's lost.
I certainly won't change my opinion. I'm a big believer that British agriculture is sustainable and fit for the future, and we're constantly striving to improve it day to day. And I also can't see Nick changing his opinion anytime soon.
I think Prince was set up.
Really don't mind that I lost the challenge. It's totally okay.
What a psycho. Holy shit. The end of that was a little weird. We got another Earthling Ed. Vegan and Butcher live BBC debate. Oh my goodness. They allowed to do that? I have the copyright for a vegan butcher debate. The title. It's mine. Hagbert says, Nick makes me uncomfortable. Yeah, it definitely makes me a little uncomfortable as well. He didn't seem like, because he didn't even really, obviously they cut that down to like 4 minutes, but he didn't say anything. He didn't say shit other than like cows just want to be hugged and loved. Why would you kill them? Why would you eat them for your sensory pleasure? Come on, get on this neural net. Eat the synthetic meat.
Hi, well, welcome. We've got Ed here, who's a vegan, and you're a butcher. So, oh, look at that. That's what we want more of. Are you both available to go to Brussels next week? Do you feel demonised as a butcher? Because, you have high animal welfare standards, don't you?
I think this is about educating about production systems and that, and I think a lot of the production systems all get lumped together. And as a small retail butcher who has direct contact with the farms, I feel that I can offer my customers the traceability, the welfare, and also how those animals are looked after and fed.
Can you tell me how they're looked after and fed?
Yes, I can tell you how they're looked after and fed. We actually go and visit the farms. We actually have an abattoir as well.
And how are they killed in the abattoir?
So they're killed in the abattoir. This is not a debate on killing methods, or this is a debate on environmentalism.
But can you tell me how they are killed in the abattoir?
Well, they're electrocuted, so they're knocked out cold, and then they...
But it doesn't always work, though, does it?
It does work.
It doesn't always work, though, does it?
We have vets there watching everything. We're even on CCTV now, all the time. So there's never been higher welfare standards in this country than there are at the moment, and we're wanting to defend those standards, especially with regard to Brexit and that as well.
Why are you doing that in the first place? You don't have to do it.
We do it because, we believe that we should eat a varied diet, and meat is part of that diet. Well, that's your opinion,
but it's a fact as well. It's a fact that we don't need to eat these products. So to take the life of an animal unnecessary can never be higher welfare.
We can choose to eat these products.
Okay, gentlemen.
We're going to produce...
It'd be nice if this asshole would just like fucking just listen for a second. Let the dude get out a sentence before you try to, moralize. Big Paul says D-bag right out of the gates. Trami says it's such a childish. It's not perfect. So argument. It really is. Like that's kind of it, right? And the smug, just condescending thing. Like how can anybody think that this is a successful way, or a productive way rather, to like get your point across, or that anybody's gonna want to listen to you? As soon as somebody like that were to open their mouths, just like half the audience just immediately tunes out. Immediately. If they don't already agree with them, you're immediately turned off.
Okay, so well, gentlemen, what we hear you, but what is it doing to the environment?
So the issue of talking about the impact of...
Taking out the animal welfare aspect.
Absolutely. Talking about climate change and not addressing the role that animal agriculture plays is like talking about lung cancer and not addressing the role that cigarette smoking plays.
But British agriculture has reduced carbon emissions by 20% since 1990. 65% of the land, the arable land in this country, the agricultural land in this country, is grass. That locks in 90 billion tonnes of carbon into our soils, right? Animals are an essential part of that actual life cycle. They cannot emit more carbon than they eat.
His comeback's going to be like, but we don't have to do that, do we? And then he's not going to offer an answer. Hagbert says, Gish Gallop, keep dropping points before opponent can get out a response. And not just that. It's not even just that he's dropping points. He's dropping points that have nothing to do with the topic that they were asked to speak about, which makes it even more insufferable.
They are part, and that's why Natural England and people like the RSPB actually support grazing animals. We're talking about grass-fed livestock here. We're talking about small butchers who have those short supply chains.
Okay, Ed, respond.
Low travel distances, supporting the local food economy, which all has a big effect.
Animal welfare better here than many other parts of the world where it's horrific. But there are some horrific things online. You have to look about what's happening in our own country in some circumstances.
And there's a documentary.
I love the host is just a total prick as well. Big Paul says, he makes a great point. He'll pull the AOC. You are factually correct, but I am morally correct.
I created a documentary called Land of Hope and Glory online, which talks all about what happens to animals in the UK. But let me respond, please. Okay. So there's 2 studies. The first study was a 5-year study conducted by the University of Oxford. It's the most comprehensive study that's ever been conducted exploring the relationship between the environment. Was this the one that was run by a vegan? But he wasn't vegan when he started, but he was vegan when he finished it because of what he found out. And what he discovered...
You may be after this conversation, John, as well.
Not very likely.
And what he discovered is that 83% of the farmland that we use is currently dedicated to animal agriculture. And if the world shifted to a plant-based diet, we could reduce the amount of land we needed for agriculture by 75%. He conducted and at the end he summarized by saying,
I don't understand that answer, where they're like, we could reduce the amount of land we need to use for agriculture by 75%. Well, what are we going to eat in lieu of animals and what they eat? Aren't we going to like make up the deficit and maybe even need more than some of these animals? Hackbird says, but he doesn't have AOC's spectacular breasts. And Big Paul comes in with facts.
the best thing that we can do for our planet is to live a vegan lifestyle. Now, the second study was the most comprehensive study ever conducted, exploring the relationship between food and the environment. And it said that in this country, in the UK, we had to reduce our beef, our lamb, and our pig consumption.
Big Paul says Soylent Green. He probably would prefer that. Ed Earthling would probably prefer that we eat Soylent Green. The secret ingredient? Homeless people.
By 90% and our dairy and poultry and egg consumption by 60% to not hit that 1.5 degree threshold rise in 12 years' time. The studies are out there, the information is out there, we have to listen.
Thank you both.
That's it. So that's what Ed Earthling clipped from that segment. What a douchebag. We got one more Ed Earthling. This one's a little bit longer. This is another like one of these panel BBC shows.
Sheep farmers.
It's kind of just interesting. I don't think we watched this one. I don't think so. It's interesting to see like when they're not in their natural environment, do they ever change or augment their arguments? Like against if they have somebody that's adversarial. It doesn't seem like it. It just kind of seems like they have a set of like 5 to 10 talking points, and they just repeat them over and over again, and then they moralize and they use a lot of emotionally charged language. I think that's kind of been the big takeaway from the past few nights in terms of like understanding their strategy. Because if you look up best arguments for veganism, this Ed Earthling dude is like 80% of the videos that come up. So he's their go-to guy, it seems like, in the community. Big Paul says, relative to Soylent Green, from the people who are morally incorrect. Show your Vax card, buddy. Travis says, factual breasts. It's the one point he won, I presume, so he cut there. Well, that's the thing, though. We don't even know if he really won that point. Citation needed, I would say.
Was hitting back at vegans, v-gan-booty, the campaign to get people to go vegan for 1 month. Reckon that by the end of this month, 500,000 people around the world will have tried moving to a plant-based diet. Sheep farmers say the v-gan-booty campaign is misleading and misguided. So let's bring together a vegan and a sheep farmer. Phil Stocker is a sheep farmer and chief executive of the National Sheep Association, which represents the industry. And Ed Winters is an animal rights activist, also known as Earthling Ed, who wants to see a vegan world. Don't you?
Yes,
yes.
I do.
Okay. Good morning, both of you. Thanks for talking to each other. Phil, tell Ed what you say is misleading about v-gan-booty.
Okay, so I think that it is within everyone's right to choose the sort of diet that they should eat. I just think that a lot of the facts and the statistics that have been spread around are misleading and don't take into account the fact that our sheep are being produced in a very natural way. They're producing a very nutritious product, and I would argue that they're actually contributing to a positive environment rather than damaging the planet. So a lot of the stats and the messages that are going out are simply misleading and don't reflect the way that sheep farming is taking place here in the UK.
Before you respond, what's the thing that's the most misleading in your view? Be specific if you would.
I think it's that eating meat is damaging to people's health, and yet we know that as part of a balanced diet, it's a very healthy way to keep yourself.
He's gonna be like, but it doesn't have to be. Can you spend $120 a day on food and supplements? Trami says, I don't believe Ed wants a vegan world because that means he'd lose his soapbox. Yeah, he wouldn't really have much to do. How is he going to afford all those nice sweaters?
In good order.
I think there's two things to consider. Now, first is the environmental point that you kind of first put forward. There were two studies released last year. The first was the most comprehensive study that ever looked at the relationship between farming and the environment. It looked at 119 countries and 40,000 farms, and it revealed that the vegan diet or vegan lifestyle is the single biggest way that we can live that reduces our impact. The second study was the most comprehensive study ever conducted between food and the environment. And it said that in this country, in the UK, not America, but in the UK, we have to reduce our pork, our beef and our lamb consumption by 90% to avoid meeting that 2 degrees Celsius threshold rise. That'll be catastrophic. So actually, when we look at the science that's behind these issues that we're talking about, it's very much stacked in favour of a vegan lifestyle.
Okay, pause.
Can I come back on the environmental damage and the methane side? And for a long, long time, ruminants, cattle and sheep have been criticised for putting methane out, which is a greenhouse gas. Recently, there's been some studies that have been done that shows that methane reacts in a very, very different way to carbon dioxide and nitrous oxide that comes from fossil fuels. And if you think of methane coming from ruminants, from animals, it's just part of a natural gaseous cycle that this planet has learnt to adapt with, has adapted to cope with over thousands.
I don't know, this guy's sounding a little too reasonable.
And thousands of years. And if
Are we coping with it?
No, absolutely not. I mean, if we look at what the United Nations is telling us, we look at what some of the most prestigious and respected bodies are telling us, the Lancet, we're looking at the University of Oxford, we're looking at Harvard, we're looking at the Nature Journal, the Science Journal, all of these studies and all these institutions are saying very clearly that actually animal agriculture is the leading driver of so many environmental problems that we're facing, and it's bigger than just methane emissions. We're looking at habitat destruction, species extinction, water pollution. So it's bigger than just that contained aspect we're talking about.
A lot of that science is flawed and it's fairly new. We're dealing with a subject that isn't necessarily that well understood.
But based on what? What scientific bodies are you referencing to make that claim?
There's some information that is coming out of Oxford University at the moment that is going to go into the IPCC report that actually makes the case that methane has got a short-term life cycle of around between 4 and 10 years.
Imagine being in Earthling Ed's position and you basically have to make the argument for carbon emissions while you're talking about the environment, and this guy's just talking about natural methane, part of the natural gaseous cycle, like he said. It's so weird. I always find these kind of things very odd, that they're very pro using all of these things while on the one hand saying, "Wow, this is, the environment, the climate, it's all crashing down." I don't know. Trauma says it's like watching believers versus atheist debates, arguments that are just orthogonal. Orthogonal? That's how you say that, right? Right angles?
Whereas the greenhouse gases from carbon dioxide are much, much longer than that. So methane has got this cycling thing where the gases are released, the planet adapts to cope with them, and then they disperse, they dissolve, and obviously more methane is being produced. So we would argue that the numbers of sheep kept in the UK over the last 40 or 50 years have not contributed at all to greenhouse gas, to global warming. They're at an equilibrium.
I'll read a couple of emails. Deborah says sheep farmers have a...
I read a couple of emails. I just wish they were just her personal emails. Remember to pop around the shop, please. Thank you.
Vested interest in flogging the nation decaying flesh of a species of God. It's a scientific fact that a well-balanced vegan diet will lengthen your life expectancy. We're no longer in the Stone Age. Mark says, the health benefits or disadvantages are of no interest to me whatsoever, actually. I do not want to be part, though, of the cruel and violent animal exploitation industries. Considering the impact on ourselves in order to make the decision is symptomatic of the real issue, which is speciesism. And Johnny says, before we even see your item, if the farmer says he loves his sheep, I'll groan. Do you?
I absolutely do love my sheep.
He goes on, you can't deliberately breed baby animals specifically to die in a state of terror and say you love them. Hang on, let me finish. People naturally eat meat, but just be honest about where it comes from, pain and terror. How do you respond to Johnny?
Absolutely not. I would argue that sheep are almost in this world when we're trying to find sustainability, sheep are almost the ultimate in renewable technology. You know, most of our grass is grown with no more than sunlight and rain and soil. Most of our grass is not treated with any agrochemicals or fertilizers. It produces grass that ruminant sheep come along, eat, and they convert that into high quality protein, vitamins, minerals.
Cholesterol, saturated fat, trans fat, cancer-promoting hormones.
Eaten as part of a healthy diet along with vegetables. There was a.
How do they square this? Like in the Western world, we live longer than we've ever lived before. Or at least in a very long time. Not to go back to the biblical days, but you know what I mean. Trami says, not so much in this case, but in the vast majority of clips we've watched. Yeah, because a lot of times, right, it's just fucking circles. Circles. The Burner says, more vegan shit. Cool. Like as cool as an Impossible Burger. Sorry, The Burner. This is the last one. Last episode, rather. Trami says, what I mean is that they argue from different perspectives, moral versus environmental or cultural, so none of the arguments can convince the other. Yeah, I think that's fair. Because they're talking past each other, like having a different discussion, right? Prophet says, vitamins? Methane? What the fuck are these people talking about?
Health practitioners conference in Cardiff back in the new year, and 96% of those health professionals agreed that red meat as part of a diet was a healthy way to sustain ourselves.
And yet studies coming out from Harvard and Cornell and other very prestigious institutions have very, very clearly shown there's a direct
Appeal to authority.
Relation between consuming these products and our leading diseases and illnesses. And I really want to get back to that point about looking after animals. In the lamb industry, up to 6 million baby lambs die within the first 3 days of being born in this country because farmers breed them to give birth in winter so they can capitalise on the spring lamb tradition.
That's absolutely not correct.
Let him respond. He is a sheep farmer.
That is absolutely not correct. I mean, by far the majority of our sheep lambing in late February, March and into April. If anything, over this last 5 years, lambing has shifted later into the season so that sheep farms can become less reliant on inputs and feed and just work alongside a natural growth pattern of the grass in the seasons. So it's absolutely not right that they're pushed to lamb early for the spring trade.
That statistic comes from the National Disease for Animal Inspection Service. So it's not a biased thing. This is a organisation that works within the industry, and they say anywhere between 10 and 25.
I have a feeling Ed here is probably being a little disingenuous with his information. I'm not familiar with the studies that he's citing, but it's very easy to look at a study and kind of cherry pick what you want and only present the certain things that support what you're saying without giving the entire breadth of it. Trami says, COVID-19 vitamin strain. Prophet says, why isn't this man arguing that killing is an integral part of human experience and that you can't become one with nature until you kill? Why? Jackson 701 says, my grandpa lived a perfectly healthy life into his 90s. He ate meat. Yeah, I think that's the vast majority of people. Travis says, also, I thought refined sugar was one of the main culprits. I believe so, right? In terms of unhealthy diets, refined sugars, high fructose corn syrup, cornmeal. Well, now because everything's made with corn.
5% of newborn baby lambs die within the first 3 days of birth. And that's because you're capitalising on a vested interest to make money from a very profitable time of year.
It's a different issue, actually. I mean, we do have losses. Yet again, a semi-natural farming system where lots of our sheep are out in almost semi-wild conditions out in the hills. You're bound to get losses, and we do get losses with lambs, but that's in a way a trade-off of them living in a very natural situation. Okay. You can reduce those losses by bringing them indoors and housing them and going into a more intensive direction, but we wouldn't want to do that.
I'm going to pause there just because we're coming to the end of the programme. Sure, but thank you very much, both of you. Ed and Phil, thank you for talking to each other.
Well, that was just I don't know. It's hard because you can't fact check that guy on the fly, I suppose, on air. But he's just citing kind of random statistics. How about this one? PhD biologist destroys vegan activist. This is another one of those like man on the street interviews. Let's see. Hagbert says refined sugar, seed oil, small bits of glass. Whatever ends up in there, you know?
So you are giving this because you don't want people eating meat, but here you have this oil palm, which is really bad because in Indonesia they destroy the forest, the rainforest.
Travis says Ed has been dodging the fact that there's also a lot of land that is unsuitable for growing crops, but that many animals can graze. Excellent point, because they would have to be cultivated, right? In a more like professional manner, an unnatural way. Prophet says this dude doesn't want lambs to die in the wintertime. What? What happens to animals we don't curate? What the fuck are these people talking about? Yeah, they're out of touch. They only see the world through the prism that they want to see it. Their perspective, and that's it. And there is no other one. And whatever confirms their biases, confirms their priors, they just accept. They don't look any deeper into this stuff. They're not like Ed Earthling is a propagandist. Like he's not out there looking into these things himself. He just repeats talking points that are given to him. Hagbert says, oh, fuck, they're in the same spot in Toronto. Diane and her boy toy were haranguing people. Toronto. It does look like that. The synchronicity, it cannot be stopped.
To do this palm tree forest instead, burning the forest, and you are giving this.
What did you think of what you've seen on the screen? You already talked about it, but how did it make you feel to see that to the animal?
I don't have any feeling for the animals.
You don't feel for them?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. So I told you are going to be disappointed.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Some people don't. But would you agree that if it's not necessary to do?
Drami says, oh yeah, I can see Diane verbally abusing a mother of three in the background. Why? Why did your ego do this? I'm so disgusted right now. Get these kids to the buffet. I need to go in there. I need to eat.
Do that to them to survive, then...
No, this is our responsibility to check what we are buying and what we are putting in our plates. And I'm against such kind of production, mass production. Of course, I'm against. That's why I stop eating meat regularly. And when I have to buy meat, I check where the meat is coming from.
So he wants to make sure that chicken has a name and it was free range. Prof says, Diane is touring southeastern New Mexico, taunting me as I toil away raising children in the cold.
There's no cruelty in the meat.
It's not what?
So there's no cruelty. You check if there's no cruelty.
Exactly.
Okay. Do you think because the animal was killed that...
It's very easy for people to say this kind of stuff, though. You know, it's easy to be confronted on the street and be like, yeah, I think that's awful. I don't think that's good. Hold on. I got to go. I'm about to go to Chili's.
The act of killing the animal itself is cruelty? Like taking the animal's life?
No, we have to.
We have to?
We have to.
To survive?
Not to survive. It's not a question of survival. It's just a question of the need of the body.
Yeah, it's called quality of life. I think that's the word you're looking there for there, French-Canadian man.
The need.
The need.
So what do we need from the body?
We need calcium, we need iron, we need, and this cannot be provided by the plants.
Where does the animal get the calcium and the iron from in their body?
Where
does the cow get the iron and the calcium from?
No.
In their body, the nutrient, how do they get that in their body? Do you know?
So
from the plants.
They are vegetarian.
Yeah. So if all the...
Oh my God, do you think the physiology of a cow, their internal biology is a little different than a person, maybe? Wild stuff.
Protein and iron and calcium originally...
We don't have the same need as a cow, as a human being.
Well, let's just say, I've been vegan 4 years.
Jackson says, it's called thriving.
Yeah.
Like healthy
But
blood tests, I can get protein and iron.
But you are young.
Yeah, we can.
You are pretty young. I'm 50.
Yeah.
And I know I've got anemia. And
anemia?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I need to eat meat regularly.
For iron?
For iron.
Okay.
And it's not because...
He's like, why don't you just go get some pills, dude? Why don't you just get a doctor to write you a hot script for iron? Iron. Trauma says, the man on the right has 4 stomachs, apparently. Yeah. He's an anomaly. He's a special one. Earthling Ed and him are married, actually. Prof says, ruminate, you fucking retard. The burner says, I want to see this dude go JCVD and roundhouse this fucker.
Because plants, so there is a legend saying that in the plant, in the cruciform, you can find the iron that we need. It's not true. The body is not able to assimilate this iron coming from cruciform.
Who said? The doctor, the scientist. Have you seen any of the science into plant-based diet? How it's reversing our number 1 killer, heart disease? Oh, you've seen what it's doing to heart disease, reversing it? Plant-based diet. It's the only diet known to reverse our number 1 killer. Did you know that?
Big Paul says 50. He doesn't look a day older than 62. Must be the meats. Maybe. This is anemia. He's anemic.
No, I didn't understand.
So a plant-based diet, one that consists of only plants, is the only diet known to reverse our number 1 killer, which is heart disease, which kills more people than war and cancer combined.
No. You are mixing all the problems. No, it's... All this kind of disease are due because people are eating too much and are not doing sport.
Yeah. People, you can have any of these diets and be unhealthy. Oh, no, my God. I mean, it's like, yeah, you're conflating something here. You're not acknowledging that people eat unhealthily. People overindulge. Jackson says, this guy is spot on about the iron. Near impossible to get enough from vegetables only. And their argument for that is like, well, take supplements. Go get shots, etc. Prophet says, our number 1 killer isn't heart disease. It's... It's teenagers, dumbass. Tarami says, it's like people who obsess about what they eat healthier. Exactly. You can find a balance. Big Paul says, finally, the dude on the street is able to counter. They posted somebody that could counter. You know, that's the thing. Like, you're relying on these people to post these videos. They're not going to post something that makes them look bad. I'm assuming, however this ends, he feels like he came out on top.
Have a bad life.
Well, like there was sportsmen still can get heart disease. It builds up in your arteries. It's cholesterol, yeah.
I don't want. I'm not sure whether it's good to start from one extreme and to finish at the other extreme. Banishing everything coming from animals.
Okay.
So I'm not sure. I think we have to find the right balance.
Yeah.
And the body, the human body, needs some calcium, iron, and other minerals coming from animals.
Okay.
So.
Travis says, well, the title is Destroys Vegan Activists, but I found, as I was looking for counter videos, most of the ones that are posted, this is Vegan Activist Destroyed, is usually posted by a vegan activist, and it's ironic. Prophet says, if me and Nico don't come out of this friends, I failed. You gotta change his heart, buddy. Gonna change his mind. Oh, Jackson drops 2 ice creams. Thank you, Jackson. I appreciate it, buddy.
You know,
what we have to do is just to check how these animals are produced, how these products are produced, in order, to be.
What if there's a possibility that you can be healthy as a vegan? But have you looked into this? There's about 500,000 vegans here in Israel.
I'm really curious to.
They're in Israel. They're not even in Toronto. They're in Israel.
No, probably not anymore on this earth.
Yeah.
To see in 50 years,
if we're still alive,
you will probably be still alive. But in which condition?
Like let's just say we can get healthy blood tests and show you that we're getting calcium and iron and protein.
Imagine if you could do all of these unrealistic things for the median person. The median person cannot do this kind of stuff and regulate themselves in the way that it is required to be healthy under this lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of bullshit.
Would that make you go, wow, I didn't know that you could get calcium from plants? Would you be surprised if you could find healthy vegans?
Yes.
You'd be surprised?
I will.
Wow. How about, would you, if I gave you information on health, and you looked into it because you're a biologist, and you looked into it and you've seen, wow, there's science to back up a vegan diet, and then would you think it's not necessary to kill animals for food if we're not doing it for health? Like if you find out we don't need to.
I will.
You would say it's not necessary?
I will maybe reconsider my position.
Wow. That is amazing.
Yeah, because he's a scientist. He's a biologist. If you can present him with information, it could augment his opinion, unlike you, sir. Hagbert says, damn, I failed. I will do the right thing and fall on my sandwich. On my delicious club sandwich. Oh my God, that sounds so good. A good club sandwich. I could go for one of those right now.
Because I'll show you right here. There's this new documentary. It's called What the Health. It's here, and they present the science, okay?
Yeah.
And below is nutritionfacts.org.
Here's this documentary. Just watch it. We all watch documentaries. All us vegans, we just watch documentaries and we just kind of accept them as fact. So watch this documentary, and your life will be changed. Also, go to this website that is a complete propaganda piece.
Yeah. Now this guy, all he does is he goes into the scientific literature, and he pulls out peer-reviewed journals. You know what peer-reviewed is?
I'm sure. Do you know what peer-reviewed is? What a cunt. Prophet says, I would also like to friend box Nico. I want to see what being in good shape but being soft does against a bag of donuts. That's fucking pissed. Travis says, I don't want to upset any butchers in here, but I just had a radish and carrot that were delish. Radish and carrot patties. No. We all like that kind of stuff. We just like the ability to also eat a cow every once in a while. Have a nice ribeye. I had a nice ribeye for dinner. It was delicious. Bloody. Sauteed onions. It's delicious. Jackson says, how do vegans feel about naturally aspirated V8 engines? I really need one.
Yeah, he pulls out peer-reviewed journals and he gives you all the information that there is in the scientific literature on plant-based diets and what they do for our health.
What is your opinion concerning the palm tree forest in Indonesia, Malaysia,
well, I think
this.
If we were to talk about the...
Do you know, he asked the guy who told him he was a biologist if he understood what peer-reviewed was. Jesus Christ. Travis says, just taking the piss. I know, buddy. Prophet says, I'm not upset. I'm eating combo knockoffs out of an MRE that have to be vegan because they don't contain anything real.
Rainforest, the number one cause of Amazon deforestation, 91% is caused by cutting down the trees to grow soybeans to feed to livestock so we can eat their bodies.
So what do you think about having this...
So eating animals is destroying the rainforest more than palm oil.
I have a lot of respect for your fight.
Yeah.
For the energy that you put in this fight.
You seem passionate as well.
But I think you're a stupid, retarded faggot. Trauma says arsenic is vegan and natural.
Intelligent as well. You understand. You have logic because you're a biologist. You use logic in biology, and you rely on facts and information, So if there's facts and information that go against...
What about this
chocolate
bar?
So palm oil...
With palm oil inside.
So palm oil...
So you are really... So tough in one fight for the animals, but on the other hand, you are giving to everybody some chocolate bar containing
palm oil. Plantations are causing tremendous deforestation.
Oh, he had to cut in a doc segment. What is this? An episode of Zoobox Goes to the Movies? Prophet says over and over. Oh no, I really want to pull a Norm and keep leaning on. Well, Nico, over here is the one who agrees with Hitler. Over and over and over again. That would be hilarious. If it goes off the rails, you should do that. If it goes off the rails.
Deforestation in the Indonesian rainforest. It is estimated that palm oil is responsible for 26 million acres being cleared. Though, compared to livestock and their feed crops, they were responsible for 136 million acres of rainforest lost to date.
There's palm oil in it, and palm oil hurts some animals.
You should be
more... I'll put it... Have you heard this? Veganism is causing...
What an asshole. So he's having this discussion with this guy. The guy's coming at it in pretty good faith. then he puts on the screen, gonna keep stabbing cows because palm oil, though. What a turd. Just, ugh. That's the worst part about these people. They're turds.
The least amount of harm in the society that we have, okay? So instead of like our clothes, things that by existing we cause some amount of harm, yeah? We can't avoid that unless
your t-shirt was made where?
We can't avoid
we can't avoid some types of harm. Are you telling me you couldn't figure out a way to get clothes, ethically get source clothing? Is that what this guy's trying to say? That's not true. Yeah, it costs a lot more money. It's impractical. Come on. Prof says, quote unquote, Hitler was a vegetarian. Veganism is more extreme than vegetarian, so technically, Nico is more extreme than Hitler.
Some harm on living on this earth. But to cause the maximum amount of harm by chopping up animals on top of that?
No, you have one fight and it's respectable.
Well, this is easy. We're talking about grabbing soy milk instead of dairy milk.
I prefer to be more.
This is easy, mate. This is easy. What are you talking about? It's like a cost-benefit analysis. Can the median person do that and continue their lives and feed their families, etc.? All of the things that would be required of a person to live a healthy vegan lifestyle. Yeah, get married and have a kid, and then and have a regular job. Make $50,000 a year, and come talk to me.
More balance, and be aware of many things like the chocolate bar. Your
even our
coming from Bangladesh.
We could always get.
And still having my steak once a month in order not to have anemia.
What
balance?
Do you know that? Well, what if you tried veganism for 30 days here on the back? 30 days. That's all you have to commit to. It's free. You get assigned a free mentor.
I'm not going to try 20 days.
No. Okay. But
sorry.
No, that's okay. That's at least you're being honest. We had a good conversation anyway, but maybe look at the health side.
We had a good conversation anyway, and I slagged you off in giant bold letters on my video that I posted. What a nice guy.
I will have a look.
Have a look. Just the health side and see if it changes your mind, and if not, it was a good conversation anyway.
I hope.
Thank you very much.
And take your oil
palm oil chocolate.
Yeah.
It's not good for the environment. It's not good for the environment.
Be aware your next fight should be this one as well.
Yeah, definitely. Once we stop that.
Hold on. What does this say? Pays for cows to be stabbed to death, but it's okay. Palm oil, though. You're talking about the environment. You bring an argument to somebody talking about the environment, and he's, talking about potential ways to avoid the things that you're saying, but not the way I want to, though.
Animals go into slaughterhouses, then we can look at other things as well. Thanks, brother. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate. The debate continues.
But we're just saying, if it's not necessary, there's things obviously that we wear and use that cause harm. But this is obvious. It's obvious. It's right there. It's a dead body. They didn't need to die. They're suffering.
I don't have. I don't know whether it's a good argument to say it's a dead body.
Oh, the meat isn't a dead body.
No, the cow, the chicken, and so they are dead body. But
and they
yeah. So
but remember, we're gonna check if we need it. You like the taste. Maybe you like the taste?
No, don't.
See, that's where it comes back to sensory pleasure.
You don't enjoy it?
I don't enjoy it. But
wow. You don't enjoy it, but you really do it because you think you need it for health.
Because I've got anemia.
Do you know that dairy inhibits iron absorption?
I know.
It inhibits it.
I know.
Yeah, so that would be one thing to cut out.
B12, it's only accepted from
meat.
Animal.
He's going to say no. No. A prophet says, quote unquote, so Nico, basically you would support the events of Auschwitz and Birkenau 1942 to 1945, but you won't kill a snake to make a purse? Weird, bro. Trami says, gets a counter argument that he can't immediately refute, changes it to moralistic argument. That seems to be their MO.
Actually, bacteria that's found in the grass, in the dirt, and in water.
It's not a bacteria.
B12's a bacteria.
No.
Yeah.
No. B12
yeah, and it converts to a vitamin.
Two biologists.
Well, where does it originate from, B12?
By cells, by the cells of your body.
Where does it originally come from? Inside of you?
Yeah.
Then why do we need to ingest it?
you synthesize it.
So why do we need to ingest it from eating animals?
Because your body does not produce
enough.
Well, why didn't he present these arguments to them? Why does he have to post them after the fact if that's what he thinks?
enough, and the cow doesn't have it.
So you can eat 1,000 of tons of
grass and not get enough iron.
Grass, and you will.
At the end, the American Dietetic Association, which is the biggest health organization, nutrition organization in the world, says that there is no difference in anemia rate between vegans and non-vegans.
Yeah.
So you get enough iron. That's the fact.
People can eat meat and still not have enough iron. It's absorption. That's the problem.
Yes. Let's make a deal. We'll check ourselves.
Yeah, it's almost like two things can be true at the same time. Wild shit, buddy.
We'll do research on B12.
That you're talking to two PhDs.
Yeah.
Biology, and you're thinking you're right.
If B12 isn't found in the dirt, I'll take back everything I've said.
So take care. Eat sometimes a piece of meat, and you will see you will be much.
I'd rather die of iron deficiency than eat meat.
And you probably will. Hagbert says the same reason we can't naturally synthesize vitamin C, but other primates can. Oh my God! It's like we're different creatures. Oh my God! All right, let's check out. Maybe we'll check out another Joey Carbstrong. This guy's Joey Carbstrong, animal rights activist. He's got let's find a short video. Does he have any more man on the street? I crashed an Xmas market with this message for turkey eaters. Oh, this should be fun. This should be fun. Jackson says he needs to eat some. Travis says, Jesus, he can't even admit he'd put himself over a cow. They're the worst, dude. They're the worst. Ooh.
As little as possible.
Every single person I've ever talked to,
it doesn't really mean anything.
they all eat a little bit. This is a UK investigation that Viva did. It's sickening. This one here was pecked to death by other turkeys. So you're a meat eater, aren't you? I am, yeah. You are. So there's an animal being decapitated. Horrible.
Jackson finishes, to eat some meat, he will feel better. Of course he would. Be healthier,
No turkey crown
stronger.
roast. We're going to give these out for free.
Like, he's obviously not in quote-unquote bad shape. Throw a little meat in there, he'd be a king. He'd be a Chad, alpha, apex level shit, man.
And give people different options other than eating the bodies of slaughtered animals. So let's do it.
Come on now.
This is a turkey investigation. Look at this bird here. They're pecking him in confinement, you know, trying to plead with people not to pay for this because this place exists because you pay for animal products, basically. Give your money to these people who do this to the animals and they feed you the animals. So we want people to try something different. So I like this brand here, but it tastes like meat. It's wheat meat. So
I'll happily try. I've never had a proper meal.
Yeah. Give it a crack.
I've had vegetables, of course, but I've never
Bit of gravy on there. It's amazing.
He gets all nervous. Now, I have had vegetables, okay? I have had vegetables. I do not just eat meat.
Do you eat animals?
No.
You don't? You're vegetarian?
Vegetarian, vegan.
You're a Shaun vegan-ish?
Ish.
Yeah. Well,
Trying.
yeah, what are you having trouble with?
Eggs.
Uh-huh. Well, in this little guide here...
Travis says, I'd take one of those, then go home and eat a steak. It's such a weird absolute obsession, like only vegans eat vegetables. Yeah, only vegans can appreciate being healthy. Truly, they're the only ones. They're right in spirit, mind, and body. The whole package.
Have you tried scrambled tofu?
No.
You scramble up some tofu, you get some black salt. You can get it from Holland & Barrett black salt. Tastes eggy, and it's amazing. Best scrambled tofu. It tastes exactly like scrambled eggs. And tofu's better for you. There's no cholesterol in tofu. It's got more calcium, iron. It's really good for you. But here you go. Here's a little guide. You can take a little vegan turkey.
Thank you.
So no turkeys were harmed. This is the turkey industry. Disgusting. Here. Wait for you as well. So you're a meat eater, aren't you? I am, yeah. You are. So there's an animal being decapitated. Horrible.
I've been trying to tell you, Deborah. I've been trying to tell you.
She's fixing vegan.
Wait a second. you don't like animals being decapitated and things like horrible things like that. I mean, most people don't. I mean, it's a stupid question to ask someone. Yeah. But when you
Trami makes a good point. Tofu is awful. It's put more people off vegan diets than on it. Yeah. Well, I mean, tofu really just doesn't taste like anything. But I've had friends in the past, vegetarian, vegan friends. They're always trying to get you to eat their tofu bullshit, and it's edible, right? Like you can eat it. You can eat it. And it depends on how you prepare it, what you season it with, just like a lot of things. But it is not a substitute. It will not sate your appetite in the same way as a good piece of protein will. Hagbard says turkeys are assholes. Most birds in general are. They deserve to be eaten. I agree, actually. They're very vicious, very aggressive.
This is a gas chamber. This is the main way they kill the turkeys here.
And where is this at?
They have these all around England, gassing turkeys.
He's like, no, this isn't my house. I make these videos to prove a point.
Yeah, we were at one the other day in Scropton, Derbyshire.
Jackson brings up another great point. Tofu is extremely hard to prepare well without frying. Yeah, by the end of what you're making something just as unhealthy as anything else.
Kill 3 million turkeys there a year in gas chambers.
See?
And this is a no turkey roast. Yeah, are you a vegan?
No, I'm vegetarian.
You're a vegetarian. There you go.
Prof says those aren't gas chambers. They don't have wooden doors.
But we want people to go vegan because the eggs and dairy harm the animals. Bless you. There you go. But yeah, so there's a bunch of information on how to change your lifestyle on there if you are interested in not paying for this stuff. But these places only exist because good people like you put your money there mindlessly and don't think of the other end of it. But we need good people like you to help the animals. Without you, we really don't have a chance. So.
Thank you.
No worries. Do you eat animals?
I'm trying to come away from it.
Trying to come away from it, yeah, because of the violence.
I'm not going to fish and stuff.
I mean, what else are you going to say in this situation? Because you know he's just going to jump down your throat. I feel like a lot of these people that are like, I'm trying to get off of it. I'm trying to get off the meats. I don't like the way they make me sweat when I eat too many of them. You know what I'm saying? 16 links deep. I'm sweating like a whore in church. Jackson says, this guy is such a jerk, and they are thanking him. What the fuck? Yeah, it's like a form of psychosis. Prof says, quote unquote, there's a bunch of information on there about how to change your lifestyle.
Well, no, well, obviously, solely for sure, come off all of it.
Yeah, fish feel pain too, eh?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I'm glad you're making
Yeah, of course they do. Of course they conceptualize and feel things exactly the same way I do.
Changes?
Hey. Yeah, the environment's maybe changed more than anything.
Yeah.
All we knew it was based on it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, no, it's fine, open.
It's good.
A documentary on Netflix now.
Yeah, what did you see? Seaspiracy?
Yeah, Seaspiracy, that was one. Yeah. My mate and my girlfriend keeps making me watch them, so.
Is she vegan?
Yeah.
Good on her.
Yeah. He looks like he's gone vegan. Look how greasy and matted this hair is. Come on. You don't get a nice, beautiful coif like myself unless you're eating meat on the reg. Trami says to Jackson, anxiety-induced politeness. I think that's a great way to put it. You should trademark that. Trami also says arguing would keep them there longer, and they know it.
He's a little activist.
Yeah. No,
it's good.
I wasn't want to bring this home.
That's good. Enjoy it.
Cheers, man.
No worries. Take care. He's in the good books with his vegan girlfriend. He just got a little vegan turkey to take home.
Yeah, that's what I'd say. I'd be like, yeah. I got my lover, my girlfriend. She's vegan. She's always hassling me. Sure, I'll take this. I've really thought long and hard about this for many days, many moments.
For Christmas, it's good.
Oh yeah. I've been vegan for 5 years. So.
Have you?
Yeah.
Manchester's like full of.
I've been vegan for 5 years. Then why are you giving it to him? You don't need to convert him. He's already there. Take your tofu back. Take it back, guy.
Vegans? Are you a vegan?
I'm actually a vegan chef. Yeah.
Are you a vegan?
I'm not myself. No,
Okay.
No.
Well, then you need this.
Yeah,
you need some info.
You need these pamphlets and this QR code.
This is a little vegan Christmas supermarket guide, and what animals do you eat?
I try to eat as little as possible, but I do still eat.
I know everyone I talk to.
Anything that's on the menu.
Everyone I talk to says they try to eat as little as possible. Yeah, no shit, because they don't want you to dress them down and tell them that they're immoral people. Prophet says to eat the first strike bar or to not eat the first strike bar. I think I'll save it for making sausage at 5 in the morning tomorrow. Or in -5 tomorrow. Shit. I want to get the first strike on my enemy, the sausage.
Every single person I've ever talked to,
it doesn't really mean
they
anything.
all eat a little bit. And I'm like, who's supporting all these factory farms?
I know what you mean. It doesn't mean anything.
I used to say that too. Someone said to me, "How much?" I eat them 3 times a day. I eat a little bit with every meal, a bit of their body, a bit of their eggs.
Same difference.
Yeah. No, it's a subjective thing you do in your mind where you're like, if you eat animal products, you eat them at every meal nearly, like bit of dairy, bit of eggs, bit of meat, bit of this, bit of that. But just
is that at the end of the day, though, you're there basically with a gun in your hand, shooting this cow after you've tortured it with a cattle prod. Traumi says people try to avoid conflict. News at 11. Where are your kids?
There's investigations that have been done in the UK. This is a free-range shed. Just sick stuff happens, man. And we just try to bring it out to the public, so because you might grab a chicken breast and you just see this little medically packaged little chicken breast, but behind it is just a disgusting farm, and they'll label it like Red Tractor approved, Red RSPCA approved.
Just a disgusting farm. Just this thing that feeds multitudes of people. Prophet says, I have 4,400 calories in MRE to get me through to the end of the season. None of it vegan except the worst shit. Canola oil is vegan.
And they're just dying and they're living in feces and suffering. And
it's a big business.
It is. It's marketing. Yeah. They want to market to people who have a heart as well. So obviously you're against cruelty to animals. But
Hagbert says, that's rapeseed, sir. Prophet says, I'm drunk and I almost just spammed the chat auto style. God save me.
You're supporting it, and they don't want you to know you're actually supporting some of the most egregious violence that happens on Earth. So they've got to market it to you, and they go, oh, you know what, UK's actually higher standards in that. Like when we take the cameras in there, it's sickening. It makes. I've been in farms all across the UK, sickening places. They give me trauma being in there. It's horrible. So, but
nice one, man.
Yeah.
Have a good Christmas.
Yeah, you too.
Have a good Christmas. But
I will read up on that as well.
It's an easy guide, like free help going vegan. I mean, if it's something that you're
just the most entitled, privileged people on the planet. On the planet. That's when you know you have it too good. You have it too good. You don't consider where you get the things that you eat or drink or whatever. And because you don't, you're perfectly okay with being like, yeah, let's just get rid of it. I've never thought of it before. That sounds bad. Might as well just do away with it.
Morally against. It only makes sense that you stop donating your money to animal abusers, you know what I mean?
Yeah, nice.
Have a good one. Have a good Christmas, mate. Take care. This is, they're actually artificially inseminating them. Yeah, they're artificially inseminating because they're too big to breed. So they hang them upside down and they do sexual things to them to get the semen, and then they inject it into the females. Turkey industry is disgusting. They gas chamber them here too in UK.
Well, the little chickens, they used to just throw it in the ground. The ones that were
in the egg industry. That's what you're talking about. In the egg industry, they definitely do. See, what I talk about mostly is animal rights. Oh. Yeah, from the animals' perspective. Like this is England chicken farms. So
what made him mask up? Was it these people coming with their fucking paper masks?
Yeah, free-range farms are disgusting. Yeah, they market them very well, but they get exposed all the time.
It's a start, isn't it, to go meat-free?
It is a good start. Tarian from our team put together this little...
Oh my God, fucking Karen over here is bored. She's so bored. She's like, yeah, that's a good start, isn't it? Who's this guy? Oh, this guy's looking for some free tofu. Yeah, man, I've been vegan for 12 years. Can I get some?
Christmas guide, right? And you just scan it with your phone. No one wants anything from you, by the way. This is all just donation-based.
Really
So you just...
Then he takes his mask off. Where's the logic there? Jackson says, those people are too old. No way they are going vegan. No, they're not changing shit.
You scan that and it will show you where all the Christmas stuff is at all the supermarkets.
In fact, they're probably out shopping. They're going to go to a restaurant in about 15 minutes.
But we'll give you this as well to take with you to cook. You can have one each and take, because you've got to have a bigger family.
Who bought all these things? Who funds this operation? That's a lot of tofu. That stuff's expensive. That's not cheap shit.
Family, don't you? So this is my friend donated these for us to give away just to help the animals.
Oh, my friend. My friend who? George Soros.
Because you guys, you eat meat eaters, you don't like this.
Oh, I hate it.
Yeah, but you support it.
Yeah, I think
so once you figure that out, and you go, wow, I don't want to support it anymore, you're going to boycott it, aren't you?
Yeah. I've more or less given up. I don't eat cheese or don't have milk.
Yeah. You still on the eggs?
No. Have you heard of the Seventh-day Adventist Church?
Yeah. They do all the studies on them.
Oh, dude, they're doing some reverse conversion, reverse proselytizing. He's like, hold on. Have you ever heard of the Seventh-day Adventists? Let me tell you a little something. You got a second? Do you got a second, sir? This would be a pro move. This would be a pro move to go to somebody like this and then just start advocating for a religion or a club you're in or something and just try to get them to talk about it with you. Prophet says all vegan V's meat eater debates should be settled at the boxing PSI arcade machine. Punch harder, I stop killing. I'll wait.
Healthy diets in that in there.
Right, yeah. I'm a Seventh-day Adventist. I believe that God's original plan, before Adam and Eve fell in the Garden of Eden, the animals weren't eating one another.
Yeah.
Man was, if you look in Genesis,
Garden of Eden was vegan, yeah.
Yeah, it was. So that and it's only when sin came in.
Started eating the animals and that,
Yeah. Obviously,
so you basically living in alignment with Eden. In a way, try to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't drink or smoke. All right,
okay, that's good.
A separate issue, but on health grounds.
Gay.
Yeah, health grounds. I know Seventh-day Adventists are really big on health, but I'm really big on animal rights. Yeah. We're giving these out. These are healthier than meat, but these are for people who love eating that texture of flavour of meat, but without the violence of towards the turkeys. Yeah. We're also giving people these little cards here.
Oh, I like this chick in the background here, just puffing away, just having a nice smoke, smoking a joke, waiting for her turn to be given some vegan delights. Travis says, check the reviews for Wicked Turkey, what he's giving away. I will.
You scan it with your phone, and it will show you what all the Christmas stuff is, all the Christmas stuff you can get from all the different supermarkets that you shop at, and this is a little guide on how to be vegan.
And you're right, animals are treated badly. It's shocking.
Well, even if the welfare is good at the farm, they send them to the slaughterhouse to be executed, heads chopped off. And this isn't a godly place. This is a demonic place. Yeah.
Hey, but listen.
Bless you, my friend.
Good work.
I will do. Thank you so much. Peace. Hey, guys.
All right. Oh my God, he's going to talk to these guys. All right, let's take a break for 1 second. Trami just hit me with these reviews for the wicked meats. The wicked meats this guy is eating. Let's see right here. So let's look at some of the reviews. Awful product. Cooked this for New Year's Eve dinner. Looked really good out of the oven. Tasted really dreadful. Tasteless, slimy, spongy, and strangely gelatinous at the same time. Sage and onion stuffing must have disappeared in cooking because there was just a meager scattering of what seemed like breadcrumbs on top. Really spoiled the meal. Wouldn't buy again. 2 stars. 2 out of 5 for this. Bought for a veggie alternative at Christmas. Nice idea and texture was fine. However, overly spiced with I don't know what, but almost had a slight hint of curry spices about it, which doesn't, in my opinion, work with turkey as a roast. It was all right, but wouldn't buy again. 1 star. Absolutely revolting. I have no idea what Tesco have done wrong making this wheat gluten product, but I make a lot of Seitan at home, and it should not be this texture. The texture is really weird and stringy and spongy, and it doesn't have much of a taste. Vile. Don't waste your money. It was awful. Possibly the most revolting vegan meat alternative I've ever tasted. Thank goodness I tried it out before Christmas Day. Will not buy again. Here's a 3-star review. Tasteless. It needed much more cooking as it was still warm and slimy. It's better chopped up and fried or sliced and fried in a sandwich with seasonings. Disappointing. We had it for dinner a week before Christmas last year and glad we did and not the actual dinner as my husband did not like it at all. Sorry, I know you could do better. There's one more here. I fancied a change from corn roast, so thought I would try this. I won't again. It was truly inedible. And I am not the fussiest eater. The texture was slimy, with some lumps of a stuffing-like substance. There was almost no flavor, and the only flavor present was revolting. I genuinely had to throw it in the bin. Bought for a nice roast, and it just kind of goes on from there. Another 3-star. My husband bought this for our Easter dinner as a vegetarian/vegan alternative. We did not enjoy it, mainly because we did not serve it with gravy or roast potatoes, but just side vegetables. Our son thought it tasted like chewy bread. It would be nice if the roast included gravy or sauce and some serving suggestions. Yeah. So obviously, the public has spoken. The public has spoken. Joey Carbs or whatever your name is. Jackson says, full of preservatives and nasty stuff. How else are you going to get the head off of it? Travis says, basically it goes on, and then the obvious 5 stars from what I can only assume are activists. So yeah, if you're trying to convert people, maybe not give out a vile substitute. Yeah, it's got to at least taste good. That's the whole argument. That's one of their big arguments. Like, you just like the taste of meat. You're just used to the way it tastes.
Guys, how are you?
Which is almost like an evolutionary function, that we like the way it tastes because we know that we derive the nutrients we need from it. It's like subconscious. It's like in the same way if you ever feel like you're protein deficient or whatever. I don't know if anybody else has ever had this experience, but you start craving peanut butter for like no reason. It's because you know, your body knows that peanut butter has something that you want, has something that you need.
Last year, at this exact same spot, had the police come here and tell me I had to turn the screens off, because it was offending people. Showing people how their food was made offends people, apparently. But these police are cool. As long as they don't get a complaint, they're all sweet with their submachine guns. Do you eat the animals? Good, that's who I want to talk to. You come to the right place.
I used to eat it a long time back, 6 months ago. I'm being a vegetarian now.
It's like, I'm sorry, I can't see you. My glasses are all fogged up.
Okay.
I don't eat chicken anymore, but I still get cravings, I won't lie to you, and I had one last week.
For chicken? You come to the right place. So we're giving these out. This is a no turkey roast crown from Wicked Kitchen. Stop, I don't like people eating turkeys. This is my friend Tinsel from last.
He's like, it's only kind of slimy. It's only kind of stringy. You'll get through it. Don't worry about it. Maybe don't feed it to the family at first. Ease them into it.
Yeah, I rescued her. I don't want people eating the birds and killing the animals, so
I wonder what kind of quality of life this turkey had, living in his suburban home.
Giving people options instead of the slaughtered bodies of animals. And this is like the same texture, taste, and I think you'll really like this particular one.
I still eat eggs though here and there, but I try to cut it.
Travis says, I don't think showing kids being blown up in war zones would go down well either, but that also happens. Yeah, it's about context. It's about context.
So do you still do ghee and yogurt?
Yeah.
The dairy industry, I mean, I talk a lot about it. It's one of the most horrific industries in the world. In India as well. Like, a lot of Indians don't know how bad the dairy industry is because they think of ahimsa dairy.
Yeah.
And they think of, but it's not like that.
No.
India is one of the biggest exporters of leather and beef.
Yeah, beef as well.
Because of the dairy cows.
I'll probably go.
Yeah. Jackson says, long time, 6 months is a lifetime for a vegan. Apparently, yeah. They don't have high expectations of how long they're going to live, and they're okay with that, I guess. I guess they're okay with that. Anecdotally, I know I've had friends in the past that tried to go vegan, like cold turkey, no pun intended, just going vegan, just wanted to do it. It was hip. It was a cool thing to do at the time. This would have been like 2004, 2005. All of them got sick. All of them got sick within weeks. One of them developed jaundice. It was kind of crazy. Prophet says, turkey and chickens are fucking wretched creatures who deserve to be eaten. It's been said many times on Zoobox, but it's the cornerstone of my argument against Nico.
Go through this, and it's really bothering me.
I would love to hear. I want to hear what Nico says to that. If he just says, they suck. They're shitty. They're vile creatures, Nico. Shouldn't we dominate them and eat their asses?
I mean, looking at that and obviously thinking that how better I could be, you know.
All those animals, dairy cows, egg-laying hens, they all get cold. They either get gas chambered or have their throats slit.
Yeah.
You know. And,
is that you?
That's me. I rescued this chick here from a broiler farm. That's me cuddling a turkey here.
I mean, the turkey's dead now, but I did something.
Really sweet, so you're a vegan?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Nice.
The best way to live in alignment with caring for animals is to be vegan. All these other animal products, they harm the animals, exploit the animals.
Thank you so much for enlightening me, and that image is definitely will stuck to me. And
well, if you want to be vegan, Challenge 22 is free help. Free help. They help you for free.
Jackson just dropped a diamond on us. It says, heading out. Thanks for the great content as always. Hey, Jackson, thanks for being here, and thanks for the diamond, man. I appreciate it. Big Paul says, rescued, aka stole and terrified.
Free on Facebook.
What's your name, sorry, mate?
Joey.
Joey, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, my friend. Take care.
No,
do you eat animals?
I do eat meat. Because
Meat.
I crave it. I can't just eat like potatoes.
Me neither. No, me neither. Like, I think this is a really good.
I do like vegan. What is it?
She's like, I can't just eat carrots all day.
Can I ask you another question? Do you hate cruelty to animals?
I really do.
Trami says, thank you for supporting Shaun's meat eating. Yes, thank you. Actually, all the proceeds, all the lemons go into my next bottle of booze.
Yeah, because this is
I've experienced it. There's some people are really evil.
They are.
I can't even look at that. I don't even want to look at that.
Okay.
But where I live, there's loads of cats, and I feed them as much as I can.
Yeah.
Oh, she's a cat lady. Who could have seen that coming? Prophet says there's also the JF Garepi take on Rooster evolutionary strategy. He does not care if we eat him because we grow his chicken babies. The burner says, cunt number 1. I miss the days where we could bully without consequences. Cunt number 2. Bro, you just got to be hyper specific and claim to be a minority with a righteous cause. Cunt number 1. Vegan cunt.
So you look after animals.
I do, yeah.
But when you buy animal products, you pay for the most horrible cruelty on earth. Do you know what I mean? So one hand you're helping the animals, the other hand you're really badly harming them.
I should go vegetarian.
No, vegetarians still support dairy and egg industries, and the dairy and egg industries kill all those animals.
I know.
And they exploit them. In the egg industry, they get the little male chicks when they first hatch, and because they won't lay eggs, they drop them into a blender fully conscious, all of them, all the male chicks.
So cruel.
Yeah.
Do you know what I don't like as well? What?
She's like, well, but I really like chicken nuggets, though. Do they make chicken nuggets? Is that how we make chicken nuggets? Because then I'm okay with it then.
We do with lobsters, put them in boiling water.
Yeah.
Why are some people so cruel?
Because good people like you pay them to be cruel. Because people want lobsters.
Look at her face. Look at this drunk lady's face. She's just like, what?
People want chicken or people want eggs, so you go and give them your money.
Have you noticed a lot of rich people eat those things?
Yeah, but like a lot of just normal people just eat eggs, or eat dairy.
So what is it you're saying I should do?
Be vegan. Here's some vegan information. Vegan means not harming animals. Going on, right?
I'm done vegan cooking. Please don't fade away on me. Prophet says this woman ate a chicken for dinner that night. And these people don't give a fuck. Hagbert says she's going to start autistically screeching. She came very close to it. Travis says, I wish he told me I supported the most cruel industry on earth when I eat meat that's so I could correct him. No, I have stock in the arms industry. Checkmate, bitch.
Wait, you eat meat, do you?
Yeah.
Come around this side, I want to show you something.
Horrified one, isn't it?
No, this is my friend Tinsel, rescued her last year from a turkey farm. She was going to have her head cut off. She's so intelligent. These birds are really intelligent turkeys. But even if they weren't, they experience the world like we do and they don't want to die. Filmed these turkeys last year. But this is how they inseminate them. They hold them upside down. They suck the semen out of the male and they put it in the female like that. They rape them.
Do that with that.
Some people pay good money for stuff like that. So I don't know what these turkeys are complaining about.
Yeah, they do. Dairy industry does it. Pork industry does it. So basically what you're seeing is the whole cycle of a turkey. They sear their beaks off so they don't peck each other to death in the sheds, but they still end up doing it. But this is trying to mitigate the pecking injuries they have.
I don't honestly eat turkey.
You don't?
Same at all. No, I don't.
Not even at Christmas?
No, I don't like it.
No, you don't.
No, I strictly eat red meat. I don't go for those turkey or chickens. That's gay, bro. That's gay, bro. Prophet says, you eat meat, do ya? Do you like a good turkey rape? Do you? I can't even read it.
You're gonna fuck. It's dry as This is the dairy cows. That's what happens to the dairy cows when they stop producing milk. All dairy cows go to a slaughterhouse. All of them. Without bolt gun, slashed across the throat, minced up into burgers. After they take their calves off them year after year, exploit them for their milk, and when there's nothing left of them, they kill them. So,
Prophet says if this dude was a turkey, he would be one of the ones who gets pecked to death. Like, man, Joey, you're just really fucking annoying, honestly.
Wanna take one more, brother? Here. This is vegan. Halal, vegan.
Halal?
It's halal and vegan, yeah, no animals.
No meat?
No meat. No meat.
What's inside?
Sorry?
What's inside?
This is wheat. Wheat meat. Tastes like meat, but no animals were killed. Yeah, it's good. It's tasty. It's really good.
I wish one of these people would just throw it on the ground and spit on it and stomp on it and be like, no!
But yeah, here, take one. So what do you think about that, mate?
Oh, yeah, it's pretty gruesome, I think, anyway. But
yeah, but I know. I mean, I ate meat for 26 years, steak. I'm not some new vegan. I'll come up in the world like everyone else.
Well, we do eat meat, but we try to eat a lot of veg during the week as well, like, you know.
Yeah, I know.
But, yeah, it's not totally friendly, is it?
Yeah, I mean, being vegan is, like, pretty easy in this country, especially, like, here, mate, take this as well. Take this, it's got some information.
It's like, you got a lot of disposable income? Are you single? It's very easy to be vegan. Prophet says, also, chickens and turkey peck each other to death all the fucking time. It's why you can't feed raw chickens to chickens. They don't get sick. They don't get sick from it. They get a taste for it. Tromby says, narrator, it did not taste like meat. Hagbert says, the Ron Swanson vegan bacon bit. Oh my God, I know. That's it. That's really the entire argument. We could just play that clip over and over on Friday night, and that would pretty much seal the deal. That would secure the win.
On how to be vegan, all right? Peace, have a good Christmas. There's no meat in this.
What's the ingredients?
It's wheat.
Artificial chemicals.
No. Well,
Like carbs.
No. Everything here you can pronounce. This is wheat, gluten, wheat starch, wheat flour, niacin. These are vitamins, protein, pea protein. No, there's not many preservatives or anything in this.
There isn't in there.
But the main thing is the turkey hasn't had the head cut off for Christmas, which is what we're trying to do, trying to stop people.
So no matter if it's good for you or not, it doesn't matter because you've stopped this turkey from existing. These are anti-natalist arguments. Anti-natalist arguments.
From supporting this suffering happens in turkey farms all across the UK. This is a UK investigation that Viva did. It's sickening. This one here was pecked to death by other turkeys.
Oh my God.
This is no turkeys, so yeah. Yeah, mate.
Cheers.
And that's what
Big Paul says, Nico is pumped and ready. Way up, butcher. Actually, he contacted me. He's contacted me a couple times on Insta, on the old Instagram. Oh, Big Paul says, laugh out loud, just hit up the Instagram. Yeah, he hit me up as well. He's very nice. I'm going to say that. He's a nice guy in terms of like on a one-to-one level, just talking to him. It's very cordial.
That's all we're trying to do. You know what? Basically, we're showing people turkey because most people eat turkeys on Christmas here in this country, but we also show the other animals here.
Prophet says, also, I've been writing David Packman every day to remind him he is a ruthless, shape-shifting well poisoner. He's not getting back to me. Hagbert says that the decapitation thing seems to be a real bugaboo with them. If I keep the head on, is it okay to eat it? Well, it'd be more ethical, I suppose.
Sheep, lamb. So yeah, we're just teaching people the animals they're like us in the way they experience the world, and they don't want to die.
So you want them to stop eating animals?
Yeah, stop eating animals. Stop.
So what do you want them to eat?
This is an animal having their throat slashed off, slashed open for the meat industry. This animal didn't want to die. Yeah.
Shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, but when you go to the shop, right, and you say, hey, can I have some meat? You just paid them to do that. You paid for this. And you, good heart, this is affecting you. So you're doing something that is against your belief. Yeah.
So what's the alternative you're giving?
Alternative is a vegan. So this is a Challenge 22 free help going vegan. Okay. When you see the word vegan, you know there's no animal products in there.
So you don't eat any animal yourself?
Any products from an animal. No eggs.
He's like, I don't believe you. Hagbert says, I had a guinea pig a couple years ago, and they prepare it with the head on. Whoa! Private says he's paid for a lot worse, bro.
No milk from a cow, and no meat, and no wool, no fur, no feathers. So basically, like they do make meat out of. This is made of wheat protein.
It's not meat. It's not meat. It's molded into the shape of a piece of meat. But as we saw from the Tesco reviews, it certainly is not meat.
Like meat, but it's not meat.
It looks like meat, but it's not meat.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it tastes like meat, but it's not meat.
How do you?
That's me in those farms, yeah.
Where is this farm?
UK. Here in England.
Manchester?
There's some exactly like this in Manchester. All over England, they're the same. They're smashing the piglets on the ground because they're sick, and the farmer doesn't want them, so they kill them, cull them. Yeah. You don't eat pork?
No, I don't eat pork.
Yeah. So you eat mainly lambs and chickens and.
I eat chicken, lamb.
It's like, I eat it all, bro. I eat it all. Look at me. I'm strapping. I'm thriving. Big Paul says, yeah, I don't know, man. With that Brit accent, I just want to slap the shit out of him. Nothing but love to Gen Y, though. Big props to Mark. Trauma says, yeah, again, the obsession with being meat. Yeah, that's because that's part of the thing. They're just like, they think that the only reason people eat meat is because it looks and tastes like meat. That's it. That's their end game. They're just like, well, you're just addicted to you've been socialized, you've been conditioned to just want to eat meat. So we're just going to try to make it look like that.
Yeah.
Sheep.
Is it halal? Halal?
Halal?
Halal?
Yeah, halal.
Halal.
Yeah. But this halal is vegetarian, isn't it?
Vegan is always halal.
Always halal, yeah. The point is still there. The market is not existing there. That's
Yeah.
why it's expensive to see.
We need more people to flood the market.
More companies, for example,
Yeah.
to change from meat to this kind of cuisine.
They are getting really competitive, though. They're doing really good. The supermarkets are doing really good.
They are not. They are not. I didn't bring it up on screen last night, but I looked up Beyond Burger. I don't know if I mentioned it or not. I looked up like the Beyond Meat stuff in the United States, and just in this past November, December, because their quarterlies came out, they were taking a huge nosedive in the U.S. Huge nosedive, which is what I saw anecdotally from going to the grocery store and seeing that nobody ever bought it. It was always would end up being reduced down to like 30 to 50%, and still nobody bought it. It does not look appetizing. If you go to a store and you see like these Wicked Meat or Beyond Meat, and you just look at the package, it looks sickly. It looks unhealthy. It doesn't like inspire you to be like, wow, this looks like interesting. I want to try this out. Big Paul says, "Oh, is that what the Quran says?" Hagbert says, USA.
Hello, how are you? Are you a vegan? We're handing out vegan turkeys. Do you have any meat? Do you have a meat eating?
Big Paul says, always halal. Shut up, infidel. Women and swine are for bathing. Or for beating. For beating. Sorry.
Husband?
I do have a meat eating.
Why don't you roast him up this and see if he knows the difference?
Okay.
Yeah?
I will do.
We're going to have a Pepsi taste challenge here. I think he's going to know. He's going to be like, what the fuck is this? I asked you for a fucking sandwich, lady. Get back in there.
This is a little vegan Christmas guide. And we're giving these out so people know where all the vegan Christmassy stuff is from all the supermarkets.
Oh, amazing. Thank you
there you
so
go.
much. So appreciate that.
Yeah, so it's actually been cool to like give vegans these as well as meat eaters so they can take it home to their meat eating partners or meat eating family and share it with them. So we're kind of getting them to go home and cook it up for them basically. So it's been a double whammy today, which I'm really happy about.
It's a big graph.
Happy about what? That they placated you? That they did whatever they could to get the fuck away from you? Big Paul says people always know the difference. Yeah, I'm sure most people have the experience where you're with a family with your family and you went out for Christmas or whatever, and they're like, oh, isn't this exciting? We're having tofurkey. Nobody likes it. Even the people that are excited to serve it to you don't like it.
Yeah, but the kids eat the animals, don't they? So we're trying to show parents and that they shouldn't be feeding their kids the cruelty. There's two.
Oh, what's this? Farmer fuming mad at vegan. I'll rip your sign down. We got to take a dip.
It doesn't work. A cow can't look after a calf.
Why not?
Because it's not made to do that.
So they get chopped up into pieces?
So what feelings do you think a cow has?
I'm just saying, do you agree with the sign?
What's
at
the
least.
sign?
It says all farmers mistreat their animals.
No, I'll rip that down once I'm finished, to be honest, because I don't mistreat my animals.
Travis says, yes, my dude. They never suggested vegetables to their significant other until you suggested it. That's his power, you know? Big Paul says, wife pulled that shit, slammed her against the wall. Kid tried to help, but I'm the dad and had to show him. Worst Christmas ever. Prophet says, imagine fighting biology this hard. Yeah. As if there is not other things that you could be worried about. That's the thing. All these people are like antinatalists. This is their singular purpose. This is the only thing they care about. It's the only thing they think about. They don't have other things in their life. They don't have all of these other considerations. People to be wary of are people that ask you to sacrifice things that they will never experience themselves. Those are always people to be wary of. And that seems to be the MO for the vegans, for the antinatalists. I'm sure there's other people out there that we have not discovered yet. Maybe furries. Maybe furries are like that as well.
Oh, God, it's getting a bit chilly. Do you agree with me, mate? What's your name?
What are we agreeing with?
Do you want to have a debate with me, my friend?
Yeah!
Go on, let's get in it. Come on. You want to come in too? You can.
Yeah, no, he's good.
He's innocent bastard. He's good.
No, he's good.
You good?
Yeah, he's good at debates.
He's like, we just had about 6 or 7 pints, mate. We'll talk to you. Prophet says, I wish I could give CMP a Ninjagini for that last comment.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's go. So,
well, anything you contribute to anything Zoobox, whether it's a donation through PayPal or it's a lemon, all goes back to the family. All goes back into the production of wonderful Zoobox content.
The sign, it says, all farmers mistreat their animals. Do you agree?
Well, I'm a livestock haulier and I haul cattle day and week, every day of the week, and I don't think all farmers mistreat their animals.
You're a livestock hauler?
Yeah,
Seriously?
I am, yeah.
So you carry stock? Which animals do you carry?
Cattle and sheep.
Cattle and sheep. So where do you take them?
Well, I do a lot of work to farms, and obviously I do a lot of work to slaughterhouses as well.
Okay.
But that's about
so you don't think it's mistreatment to send animals to slaughter?
Well, no, not really, because I'm going to go down here hopefully and have a bit of chicken or a bit of lamb or a bit of beef. Yeah. And it's just the way of the world, isn't it? Really.
Yeah. So, but like, if someone were to take me to the slaughterhouse, would you?
He's talking to a couple dudes who literally just came out of the pub. This dude looks like he's 3 sheets to the wind. He's having a good time. It's his day off. He's a fucking livestock hauler. That's a tough life. That's fucking tough work. Travis says, the short of it is you don't become a devout anything unless you are filling a void. I think so. I think everybody that latches on to anything, any type of ideology, and goes this hard in the paint for it, is because of a deficit in their life. You know, we've all felt that, I'm sure. You know, I'm sure we've all felt that in our lives. I know I felt that before I met my wife and we had our first son. I was a lost man. I was a lost person. I didn't really have a purpose in life. And those things gave me purpose. They gave me a reason to go on, to try to be successful, try to be productive. And that's what these people have found in their belief.
Call that mistreatment?
Yeah, but they ain't going to take you to the slaughterhouse, are they?
No, but if they were to, like in a hypothetical.
It's the end of the time, isn't it?
Yeah, but at the end,
it's the end of my time.
No, it's the end of the livestock's time, isn't it? Half of them.
But how do you know? How do you know what an animal? You know, if they when they get old, They're no good anymore. They feel pain when they get old.
How old are the chickens when they get slaughtered?
Well, I don't do chickens.
How old are their lambs when they get slaughtered?
9 months.
How long do they live?
9 months.
What a Chad. How long do they live? 9 months.
Like, how long is their lifespan?
Well, not very long, really.
Is it 10 to 12 years? We can flash that up on the screen now, but...
It is. It says domesticated sheep live to about 10 to 12 years old, similar to large dog breeds! Exclamation mark.
Like, how long do cattle live? Cows?
Well, to fatten up a cow, you're looking at about...
No, I mean like their lifespan.
Wait, but what do you mean a life...
Uninterrupted, like without you slaughtering them.
Well, probably 28 years. But it ain't no good when they're barren, are they?
Well, I'm just saying that we end their life very quick, like 18 months, 2 years.
Yeah, but that is false information that you've got there because...
Prof says this is literally the Chad and the Virgin meme. Travis says 9 months. You win the laugh of the night, sir. Thank you.
Have you got the money to, warrant keeping them for that long?
I just don't think they should be bred into existence for the sole purpose of being chopped up. I call that mistreatment.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
Okay, why not?
Well, because it costs money to keep these animals, and then,
Why are they here in the first place?
Well, that's the way of life, isn't it? I don't force you to think what you're thinking now, but when you come up to my lorry when I'm stood outside trying to do my job, whacking banners in front of my lorry, doing this.
Where's this?
Well, everywhere I go, pretty much.
Oh, so there's vegans out the front.
Yeah, plenty.
I don't think it's anything against you. I think it's more about they want to protect the animals.
Trying to stop me from doing my job.
Yeah.
Well, see, this is the basic thing. Is like most people that eat meat or even in the industry, they have a live and let live policy. They're like, hey, if that's what you want to do, that's great, good for you, no problem. On the other side, it becomes very authoritarian, very much like, no, we are moral agents, and you do what we say, or else. There is no other way. Prophet says this is like anti-nationalism for fagoots.
The wrong person here to argue with. I'll sit here all day.
Come on, no, I want to sit here all day. Let's do it. I'm prepared. So I want to know why you don't think slaughtering animals is mistreatment.
Because it's a way of life.
So anything that's a way of life is not mistreatment.
So what about your carrot that you dig out the ground? It has a lifespan still in the ground.
We can talk about carrots, but I want to say if as long as something is a way of life, in your eyes, no matter what that thing is, that is not mistreatment.
Well, yeah, if I was suffering from something, or if I was got when an animal lives for a certain amount of time, they do suffer because it's not nice to keep an animal that long. And if I was suffering, I'd rather pop a cut.
We're not talking about suffering animals. We're talking about... You said healthy animals.
You said mistreating animals. That's what we're talking about. And suffering an animal is mistreating an animal.
Yeah, but you told me that all those animals that you take to slaughter haven't been mistreated, so they're not suffering. Well, they're still getting slaughtered.
Well, yeah, because, look, I bet if hang on, I'll pull somebody up here. I'm doing this for the camera. Excuse me. Do you eat meat?
Yes.
Yeah, this woman eats meat. See, I'll pull it up.
Sorry?
Excuse me. Do you eat meat? Oh!
No, that's all right. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if everyone here is doing the same thing. It doesn't make your argument mean that it's morally correct.
It is morally correct.
It doesn't make your argument morally correct.
But why do you think that all farmers mistreat their animals? That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying.
Because if you're breeding them for the sole purpose of killing them, using them for their body,
they're not bred for that, are they?
What are they bred for?
They are bred for it.
Yeah, but not all of them.
Come on, bro. We all know why these animals are being bred, why they're being farmed.
Excuse me, do you eat meat?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, good man. This bloke's trying to tell me not to eat meat.
Do you need...
Trauma says it's like how Ed said he wouldn't force people to be vegan even if he had the power to. And if he's convinced this is what needs to be done, why wouldn't he? Because that's disingenuous. Because he would. He 1000% would.
Need a little bit of support from your meat-eating friends.
Well, you got your support with your cameraman.
No, okay. So basically, I think it's mistreatment because they are being used as property and being. But basically, anything can happen to them that the farmer chooses.
Oh yeah, of course it does.
So they get chopped up into pieces.
So what feelings do you think cow has?
I'm just saying. Do you agree with the sign?
What's
at
the
least
sign?
it says all farmers mistreat their animals.
No, I'll rip that down once I'm finished, to be honest, because I don't mistreat my animals.
You're not a farmer.
Well, I am a farmer, and my daytime job is to drive a livestock lorry. But my grandparents, and my mother, all run a family farm, so I'm part of that family farm. And if you think that we mistreat our animals, then really you're a waste of space, to be honest.
Well, wait a second. There's no need to get angry because I'm just trying to figure out why you think slaughtering animals isn't mistreatment.
Yes, but I don't know how much of the population eat meat.
No, you small family farm. Let's talk about your small family farm, all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hagbert says, Friday side quest, get Nico to call Earthling Ed a cunt. Have you seen this Earthling Ed guy? Trami says, in parentheticals, the limited message length in DLive is a bother, but keeps me from soapboxing, I suppose. Just break it up, buddy. You're always welcome.
Okay. So what animals have you got there?
Cattle and sheep.
So cattle and sheep. Okay. Yeah. Now, do you artificially breed them?
No.
You put a ram in the with the ewes?
No.
Where do you get these sheep from?
You put a lamb in with the ewes, don't you?
A ram in?
A ram in with the ewes.
Well, no, not all the time. Sometimes you AI them.
You AI the yeah, I'm familiar with that. So and what about, do you AI the cattle? Are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Do you have dairy?
Yeah, I have dairy.
Okay. What happens to the calves?
Well, we rear them up.
You take them away from the mum?
Well, no, they can have a suck on a bit of titty like a child.
You can they give them the colostrum and then that's it?
Well, no, of course they have the mother's milk, don't they? Like, this is what I mean.
How do you sell the dairy if they have the mother's milk?
What do you mean, how do I sell the dairy? They don't live off their mother's milk for all their life, do they? That's not how a calf breeds, is it?
Well, at what time?
They start on cow's milk for about 6 to 8 weeks, and then they're on cake. And I mean, what's your problem with that?
At what time do they get removed from their mother?
Wow. Couple days, couple hours.
Yeah. Okay. So you don't think it's mistreatment to take kids away from mothers?
Yeah, but you really think a full-grown cow?
I'm just asking a question.
No, shut up. If you think that you could, if a cow is good enough to look after a calf, then it doesn't work, does it?
Well, you don't think
it doesn't work? A cow can't look after a calf.
Why not?
Because it's not made to do that.
So you're doing this for the cow's best interest, basically, not to make money off dairy and sell their body parts or anything. You're doing it because you really care about cows.
But you're not really understanding any of this.
I'm trying to understand why you don't think taking a calf from their mother is mistreatment.
It's not, is it? It is just. It's been like it for I don't know how many years. And how old are you?
35.
Yeah, and I'm 20, and I've known it all my life. And it's been like that before you were fucking 35.
So what?
What do you mean, so
People have been doing horrible things to each other for centuries, but that doesn't make it okay. Just because something's been happening for a long time, it doesn't make it okay, that's all. I'm trying to find out why you think this isn't mistreatment.
Yeah, but I don't understand why you think it's mistreatment. It's
Well,
like
if I did any of this to you, like took you on a truck to the slaughterhouse, would you think that was mistreatment?
Oh, hang on a minute. I would actually be quite impressed. You know?
You would be impressed with being driven to a slaughterhouse?
Yeah, I reckon I would be, to be fair.
I'd be terrified if it was me. What about you, brother? Anything that happens to the...
If it happened to you, how would you feel about it? Because you know it's all the same, right? Travis says, this guy is the life of any party he goes to. Always bringing it up, always having a good time, the chat.
Animals in animal agriculture.
If you pick me up in something like that, I'll show the camera, look. Actually, no, I'll cover the name up.
You want to...
Here we go, look.
Cover his number plate?
Yeah, cover my number plate up. If that was me...
Would you like to be driven to the slaughterhouse in that?
Put that anyway, you should be putting that, mate. Well, it's just the thing... It's like the cycle of life, isn't it?
It's a circle of death, killing.
Yeah, when I'm done with it, I want to go on.
Yeah, but you're going to die. You're going to die of natural cause, probably maybe some smoking-related thing later on in life. But that's your choice.
Yeah, you're probably going to die because you smoke and you're fat and you're ugly. I mean, but that's your choice, man.
But I'm saying we're taking their fraction of their lifespan, chopping them up into pieces, slaughtering them. If that happened to any human being, it would be cool bloody murder. It would be some type of horrible crime against humanity. But for some reason, it's okay to do it to cows, pigs, chickens, fish. It's not mistreatment.
No, you just like you.
Okay. So what is good treatment for an animal then? If that's not, what is good treatment? If that's,
well, I think that the good treatment is like they get all fed up nicely, like they're
fattened up.
Yeah, fattened up. Then off they go. They're at the life.
Off they go where?
Well, off they go.
So how do they get killed?
Well, they die, don't they?
No, but you've been in the farming industry for a long time. How do they get killed?
So many different ways for them to be killed.
Okay, what's the main way that you think?
Gas them.
They gas the sheep?
Yeah. A lot of the time. They go around in a sheep, but don't film.
Are you talking about pigs or sheep?
Both. Well, pigs actually.
Yeah. I know pigs are gassed, but sheep are
stunned.
What with?
Electric.
So a prong that goes. Is it a clamp or it sticks into their neck like a prong?
Sticks into their neck.
Okay, and that sends an electric current through their body, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's not mistreatment.
Nah, because to be fair, I have got a hell of an electric prodder, and I do prod him every now and again.
And is that mistreatment of your mate?
Nah, is it?
Do you like it?
Is it mistreatment? He loves it.
No, so if that was stuck into the back of your neck and you're made to go unconscious, and then someone come and cut your head off, would you call that mistreatment?
No, because it's not going to happen.
Okay.
Is
What
it?
if it was a dog?
A dog?
Would it be mistreatment if everything held equal? Like what happens at your family farm to those cattle and sheep, and then they go off to the slaughter? If they were all dogs, would you call that mistreatment of those dogs?
Not if I wanted to eat the dog, no.
Okay, so it's only mistreatment up until the point that you eat them. So if you did everything you did to these animals, chopped them up but didn't eat them, that would be mistreatment of the animal.
No.
You're saying if you eat them, it's not mistreatment.
He takes my meat, he goes abroad with it, so it's not ever going to go to waste, is it?
Okay, so if the victim doesn't go to waste, it's not mistreatment.
No.
Look, I treat them well when they're in the back of my lorry, so that's all you need to worry about. They have a good life after life and a good life before life.
What's their afterlife like?
Probably in the back of my trailer about +2. So
You want to hope you don't come back reincarnated.
So yeah, what's their afterlife like? I don't know. Do you think he knows? Does he have any insight into that? The spiritual life of the animal? It's just like these guys are trying to just tell him a very basic concept about the idea that, like, well, if you do something with a purpose, if you're killing animals with a purpose, it's not for nothing. It's not just murder, right? It's to feed people. It serves a function. It's something we've always done. Also, I mean, they're not even getting into any of the other arguments. I suppose this guy would just be like, well, you could just get a supplement for it. I don't think it's going to go there. But he just won't even meet. Like, it would be so easy to find parity and just meet them on their level. If he truly wanted to engage with them, if he truly wanted to convince them of something. But he won't. He will not, because this is not about that. At this point, a video like this is just for clicks. It's just to make a YouTube video.
Incarnated as a sheep or something.
Why not? If I die again in 9 months' time, it's not my problem.
But so, I'm asking if the farmers are mistreating, not if you're mistreating them. I'm asking if...
No.
If
you have put
all
on this side...
He's not a farmer, is he?
Huh? No, he isn't, but you've put...
Yeah, so he's saying when you're a lorry driver. Are you a lorry driver as well? Okay.
No. You've put on this side... all farmers
mistreat their animals.
Yeah. All farmers.
All of them.
It's not true, though.
He's not a farmer.
Huh?
He's not a farmer.
Yeah, but that's not what we're getting on. You've put all farmers mistreat about me.
Yeah, it's not about him. It's about farmers.
Exactly.
So and you're a farmer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm saying that all farmers, because they're using them for their own gain, they're sending them to be slaughtered, using them for a profit. That is mistreatment.
Yeah, but also we feed the UK. You know, like that is like
we can feed them. I'm not saying plant farmers are doing. Like you can. Yeah. I support farmers, just not the ones who kill the animals.
So you want me to turn everything into some carrot tops or some lettuce leaves in a pony tunnel?
I don't eat carrots. What makes you think I just eat carrots?
To these farms and breaking into them overnight, because you know what happens as well as I do. You all break into these farms. Destroy,
it's not
the farmers' farm.
I go into farms all the time. I don't destroy anything.
Exactly.
I don't destroy anything.
Yeah, but you're trespassing, aren't you?
But that's not a crime.
Yes, it is a crime.
Not in the UK. No, it's not.
It's trespassing.
No, aggravated trespass is a crime. Trespass. No. If you ask me to leave, that's a crime.
But you don't.
I don't leave.
I'm awake. I'm sleeping, so I can be up in the morning.
No. Going onto someone's property to document the cruelty in their farm is not a crime.
It's trespassing.
In Australia, it is.
No, it's trespassing in this country.
It's not against the law. It's more of a misdemeanor. It's a civil offence.
Well, then it's still against the law. If it's a civil offense or a misdemeanor, it doesn't mean you didn't break the law.
It's a civil offense.
If you go into somebody's farm without their permission, it's
trespassing, but trespass is not
permission to go.
It's a civil offense. I'm just telling you that.
Yeah, but why is it with you in all this civil?
Because it's not a crime.
It's a crime. If you turned up at my farm,
it doesn't matter. The cops will just say.
Oh, here we go. What's this? Crockway?
Sorry.
I recognise that farm, don't you?
Nah,
it's a parent breeder shed.
Have you got any pig farms or not?
Yeah, I've got some pig farms.
I'll have a gander at them.
They're all holes.
He needs something to jerk off to later.
disgusting. Pig farms are all disgusting, especially farrowing sheds. Do you know any pig farmers?
Yeah.
Who's that? That's Crockway, isn't it?
That is Crockway.
No. This is just an average farrowing shed.
Yeah, but where is that?
I don't know.
You do know?
In England.
Where to?
In England, I don't.
What's wrong with that?
I won't disclose locations.
Yeah, but that's Crockway.
What's wrong with this animal here?
Yeah, what's up there?
That's White Farm as well.
Nah, it's not.
No, do you think there's something wrong with farrowing sheds? Because we can talk about farrowing sheds, but I am saying all farmers. But at least, do you think factory farms mistreat animals?
No.
Okay. So you're actually saying that. Do you think? Okay, let me ask you, mate. You seem a bit more rational. Do factory farms mistreat animals?
No.
Okay, so even if they're getting tortured in there, it's not mistreatment.
They're not getting tortured, are they?
Yeah, they are.
How?
How's that torture?
You don't think living in a cage?
Where's your cage?
This animal didn't suffer to death?
I'm not all about chickens, are we? We weren't all about chickens, were
No,
we?
these are factory farm chickens.
Yeah, but we're not
is
on
that
about...
living like that not torture? With their leg all sprawled out on the ground?
No.
That's not torture, putting them in these little cages?
No.
That's on the back of your lorry, Jeff.
That's not.
This little piglet was
what are you doing here
dead.
now?
This
That's
little
you,
piglet
innit?
was dead in the cage with the mother. Yeah.
That happened.
Yeah, but
hang on. What about a child that dies at birth then? Hang on, come on. What about a child that dies at birth? Because my sister gave birth to a dead child.
Yeah.
So what's the difference?
But
what's the difference?
This piglet.
Shut the up. What's the difference?
Yeah. Okay. So there's stillborns, right? But these piglets are dying because they're in this small cage, and they could be dying of.
No, because they're dying.
I've seen stillborns.
Yeah.
This piglet was too big to be a stillborn.
No, it's not. Oh, yeah,
that piglet was too big to be a stillborn.
It was too big, so it could have suffocated on the way out.
She could have laid on her piglet. Because she can't.
Could have suffocated.
No.
When did you see it happen? Did you see it happen?
They didn't have any afterbirth there.
Did you see it happen?
No, I didn't see it happen. So we don't know. We don't know. But the fact that she's in a farrow.
So you don't know. So you just edited together a clip to suggest something, and if you don't know that whether it's true or not. I mean, these guys obviously are not going to give an inch with this stuff. This is what they do. Which is kind of refreshing because everybody else is like, oh, yeah, that's the worst thing. It's almost refreshing to see somebody like, no, that's just part of the business. That's the way it goes. And what you're showing, like, what are you showing? What are you showing? And we can't see what he's showing. He's not going to pop that up on the screen. To show us what he's showing this guy so that we can make a judgment for ourselves, we're just supposed to assume that whatever it is horrific. Trami says, personally, I love this guy. Well, these are the only guys that have given any type of pushback. Now, are they the best debaters, the best interlocutors? No. But at the very least, they're pushing back. And what we're seeing is that he has nothing to say. It's just the same, like we said, 5 to 10 talking points over and over and over again. The argument never becomes more nuanced. It never becomes more convincing.
Farrowing crate for 6 weeks on end is torture.
It's not torture though, is it?
You sit in a little cage for 6 weeks on end. They have to, on top of their own crap.
In a tin can for 6 weeks.
No, on top of your own crap. You know they right below themselves.
Yeah, but it's gone, isn't it?
If you don't think that that's mistreatment, I really am. I don't know what else to say to you because. I mean, we could talk about your family farm, but you won't even agree that factory farms mistreat animals, and that's like most of the public are not on your side with that.
I tell you what is torture though, is keeping the whales in the aquariums. That is torture.
Why do you care?
They're just going round and round.
Why do you care?
That's different.
Why do you care?
Well, because they have more developed brains. Their brains are bigger. We know that how they interpret things is different. It's different than a fucking chicken.
Oh, because you don't even think factory farms are mistreatment.
They're not. Because
what's the difference between putting a...
here? They're bred for all the people here.
Yeah, they're all supporting the mistreatment of animals.
No, they're not though, are they?
They 100% are.
No, they're not.
If you donate your money to a factory farm...
We are going to get some. I'll sit here all day. So, I don't really understand where you're trying to go like that.
Well, I'm basically saying...
No, she doesn't know exactly.
Yeah, she don't want to say an opinion. Is it? Well, let me just ask. Does anyone else want to sit down for a discussion, or you just?
Yeah, I'll say
hello.
Oh, you're a friend. Oh, really? You know what, bro? Thanks for sitting down, eh? Thanks. You don't want to shake my hand? Thanks for sitting down. Come, mate.
Yeah, but it's just a little shit.
That's not good sportsmanship, is it? That's not good sportsmanship, mate.
What, you agree with that? Yeah. Well, all farmers mistreat. Right, that's our
There you go.
we don't need to talk through that.
Yeah, no, because otherwise the camera can't hear.
Yeah, because they're going to go broadcast.
Hang on, go to him, go to him.
No, all my points are based off your videos. That's all the points I
So
made.
you've watched his videos, believe everything he said, never seen. Yes, it is. Never seen it. Huh?
I became vegan before I watched his videos.
Yeah, but you've just literally said you agree with everything that he said, specifically. He said. That's what he just said.
He listened to him, heard the facts, and saw the truth.
You saw like 5 or 6 farms.
No, you can explain the truth without farms.
Go on then, explain.
Just explain. You can explain what happens to animals.
Explain it.
Well, they get.
So they're trying to make the argument basically that not all farms are the same, not all factory farms are cut from the same cloth. So you can selectively go in and show horrific conditions. That does not necessitate that they're all like that. And that seems probably true, probably some reasonable on some level. Trami says, "Oh, fuck you, twat," as if you would if you felt you won. Oh, he knows this dude's 3 sheets to the wind, and he's having fun trying to make his video.
Mass bred and slaughtered for needless item like.
And then he finally got some hipsters, who all look like very well-adjusted people here. They came up and they were just like, yeah. And then they're gonna gang up on this dude, makes him feel powerful.
So you think like a farmer, that's not not very well off, an old like as of my granddad, not very well off, and he can't do anything else because he's never.
Why can't he do anything else?
Because that's all he's known. He's 84.
So if he's 84, he can still
do what?
It's one
How's
of the
he gonna make money at 84?
How
is he gonna make money at 84?
Farming's one of the hardest jobs you can do.
How is he gonna make? How is he gonna make money at 84?
Is farming one of the hardest jobs you can do? Animal farming?
This is like it's like the argument from a few years ago when all like journalists and bloggers, they were talking about the coal industry. And they were talking about people that coal mine, and there was an article, it was like in the New Yorker or the Atlantic maybe. It might have been the Atlantic. It said learn to code. It became a meme. It's like, oh, you could take all these coal miners and teach them how to code. Yeah. Because the argument would be like, well, if you stop something without a replacement, you displace people. You displace an entire industry, and you're just creating another problem that might be just as ruinous. You could ruin generations of human beings and their quality of life. Prophet says, honey, I'm here, buddy. Are you there? You still awake? Go to bed, Prophet. Trami says, oh, God, she waved to the camera. Oh, yeah, they're loving it.
Oh, really?
It's not hard.
No,
it's easy.
It's not the hardest job you could do, is it?
It's one of the hardest jobs you can do.
It's not, though, is it? Have you ever farmed? No.
And it's not much. You don't get much profit out of it, do you?
Well, no. But you can make a living out of it.
So he can do something else other than kill animals. I'm just saying.
But he's 84. He's farmed all his life.
He should have retired by now, brother.
But he doesn't kill them.
Should have retired by now. He shouldn't be killing animals.
He should have retired by now. Yeah, the statement of a privileged human being.
So I don't. If he had no other choice, like in a survival situation, different, but he does have other options in the UK.
Trami says, speaking as a coder with 20 years of experience, no, you can't teach people in general to code. Yeah, that's why it was so ridiculous. Like, oh, you're going to take a bunch of middle-aged coal miners, you're going to teach them how to code. Yeah.
He does.
Yeah, but what's he going to do at 84?
He can do anything.
Tell me.
I'm just going to say this. He shouldn't be killing animals, no matter if he's 84, and he's probably a great man, but he shouldn't be killing animals.
But he's not, is he?
So,
and you're saying that is disgusting.
It doesn't say that. It says all farmers mistreat their animals because they're killing them or exploiting them, and that's mistreatment.
Yeah, but have you seen an animal that's like lived too long? What do you want to do with it when it's
when the legs are splitting?
Well, that's different.
No, it's not.
If it's in that, if you like, you're suffering, it's a mercy killing. That's the only humane slaughter there is, a mercy killing, and there's no other option.
So you want something to like
if there's
curl
no,
up in the board
if there's no
suffer for 6 months.
I know.
If you saw a cow with a broken leg, you just think, fuck it, I'll leave that there.
Can I answer?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. If it's a mercy killing and they're suffering and it's in their best interest, then that's not wrong. But if they want to live...
What do you mean it's in their interest?
It's in their interest to die because they're suffering and there's no way to help them. That's different. It's a mercy killing. Are you familiar with mercy killings?
No, because like it's suffering, then you kill it.
If you're saying, kill me, I'm suffering, there's no hospital for 1,000,000 miles, I'm dying, can you help me die?
If I was suffering,
Isn't that inhumane? Isn't that making an assumption about, people make rash decisions all the time regarding suicide, quote unquote, mercy killings? Trump says, whoa, dude. So do we have the right to act as executioner? As long as somebody's suffering, as long as they're suffering. This is the same argument people make for like euthanizing people. It's basically a eugenics argument. It's a very shallow, pedantic version of the eugenics argument, tracking all the way back to the late 1800s. Oh, they're suffering. It's going to cause suffering.
Asked to be killed, yeah.
Okay. No,
but what can you do with a cow with a broken leg?
Same
what
as
can you
a
do with
horse.
it? What can you do with
Same
it?
as a horse.
What?
Insert. I bet.
You take it to a vet or something. Oh, sweet summer child. Prophet says, I want to stay up for this, but damn, I have an early bell. You dipping into Dominion? No, I'm not dipping into Dominion tonight. No, I think we can all understand what Dominion is. So, probably not tonight. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. It'll depend if I have the time or not. But yeah, get some sleep, my friend. Get some sleep. And get rested, dude. You got a debate. Debate night. Friday night. The fire rises. Trauma says, I've watched Dominion, so I'm good. Hagbert says, you cut the cow's leg off and give it a prosthetic.
But there are situations where there would be like no going back. This animal needs to be put down. There's a line, but not like
and then doing it for benefit. Like the difference is just not doing it for your
But
own.
like farmers might smash a piglet's head on the ground because they don't grow quick enough. They thump animals because they don't grow quick enough in piglet farms. Do you know about that? Thumping animals. So they grab piglets by their hind legs if they're runts, and they smash their head on the ground or on the wall, and that's the way to dispatch them.
If they're not born correctly,
if they're not growing.
Hybrid says, much power to the butcher. Get your rest, my friend. Get your rest. Trami says, so we can't tell when the animal is not suffering, but we can tell when it's suffering enough to warrant putting it down. Yeah. Prophet says, big hearts. Bane chants as an ASMR. Rise, rise. Trami says, that seems like a watertight sounds like watertight reasoning, and he says, peace, Prophet. Be well. Good night.
Fast enough, or they're sick.
Not fast enough.
If they're sick, they do the same thing.
Well, yeah, but if it grows,
if you're sick, do you think it's okay just to
Prophet closes with, they thump the pigs, mates. Night, y'all.
smash your head on the floor and kill you? That's what they do to piglets.
Have you got the money to keep?
They shouldn't be doing it anyway.
Yeah, but have you got the money to breed animals?
They shouldn't be doing. They shouldn't be breeding them anyway. That's the point.
But you're not answering the question.
As soon as you breed them to kill them for your own gain, that's mistreatment.
Well, I don't believe you. But.
Nah,
it's like a Kafka-esque nightmare. It's like the trial. It's like this circular bullshit where there's no actual real answer to any of the questions that are being posed or asked. Like, there's nothing there. And the best thing that they can offer is like, well, what if you didn't? And then offer no solutions to the contrary.
Well, it's okay. You can be wrong. I've been wrong heaps of times in my life. I was eating meat eaters 26. I was eating meat for 26 years, bro. 26 years. For longer than you've been alive, I was eating meat. Eating steaks, supporting farmers, eating bloody, big, rare steaks. But then I just thought about it. I was like, you know what? I hate people being cruel to animals. I don't want to be a hypocrite. If someone was torturing an animal right here, I'd probably have a fight with them, stop them, straight up. But, you know, I'm doing it with my other hand. I'm stopping cruelty with one hand, whinging about it, and then I go to buy a burger with the other hand.
You're not going to stop, are you?
But I can stop supporting it myself.
Yeah, you can stop, but you can't stop all of these people.
And I can also make statements like this.
Excuse me, are you a vegan?
No.
That is
Are you a vegan? Who's a vegan? Are you a vegan? Yeah. Okay, some vegans. Vegans, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There's 5 out, like...
Yeah, 5 vegans that have all congregated to watch this conversation. Are you a vegan? People that have stopped and watched and look of a certain persuasion. Oh, argument 1. Trami says, fill out form veganism 21B so you can fill out form 21B.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't make you right just because it's a popular opinion.
But you're not going to turn everybody to not eating meat.
No, but I'm just
if that's what you want to do, like you just won't give up
I'm just trying to prove you wrong, and I want you to prove this statement wrong. But I don't think you do.
Yeah, but that's just a little. You're saying mistreating because they're sent to slaughter. So if you've treated,
they're actually treated as property. They're owned by the farm, and a farmer can do what farmer can put them down wherever he wants.
My property.
Yeah, so he's got that over them. Yeah. That's mistreatment. It's unfair. It's unfair treatment.
If it's unwell, you put an animal down. If you see a dog,
we're not talking about that.
Dog suffering.
We're not talking about that.
You went on about dogs. If you saw a dog suffering, you put it down.
Are the animals in your truck all needing to be put down? Are they?
Well, yeah.
Are they really? So you're just doing them a big favour by driving all these animals to the slaughterhouse to put them down because they're all suffering. Okay. All right. That's what you do for a living. You help animals. You're a vet.
Yeah, I'm a vet.
Okay.
I'm going to get up tomorrow morning. I'm going to do exactly the same.
Yeah.
End of story. No nights.
Yeah. So I'll see you in Sheffield.
See you later. So well, there we go. We got a farmer, lorry driver, and a discussion. So that was good. Interesting. We also got a crowd here, vegans.
Oh yeah, look at this bunch. They seem like a fun bunch. Permanently friend zone dude over here and a bunch of harpies. Oh, Odysseus. Oh, Odysseus. He'd be facing it now. He'd be really facing it now. Travis says, this guy, yeah, I won that pretty easily.
So I think he was a little bit like unsure about what I meant by mistreatment. That's for sure. So he's saying even at my small.
No, I think he rejected your premise. I think he rejected your premise there, buddy. What's your name? Joey Carbohydrates or something? Joey Carbstrong. Everybody give it up for Joey Carbstrong. What a soldier. Out there fighting the good fight. Okay, so we got a few more videos. We're going to watch this Vegans Ruin Children's Pony Party. Now, the title of this, you would think is a negative thing, but it's actually posted by the people that ruin the children's pony party. I'm just kind of curious. I haven't watched it. I'm just curious. The sound is not great with this one, though. Be forewarned. I know that about it. It's only in one channel. I'll say what you want, but those are some nice trunks there, some nice badonkadonks. Trami says, I mean, this is all for the greater good. Hagbard says, this is going to infuriate me. I can already tell. Oh yeah, there's a couple of them. This is not like, it was like from last week. It was when my stream got cut off because my internet died. I had like the good one. I hope this one is just as good. But I had one where they literally just went to a children's party with like kids riding on ponies and just started screaming at people.
Do you want me to photo?
Try again? Yeah? Want a carrot? Yeah? Carrot? Another one? For me to do it? Yeah? No?
Forcing animals to work for you is immoral and slavery. The ponies can't give consent, therefore it is forced labor. Oh yeah.
Afternoon guys, how are you? Are you going to talk to me? Okay, cool.
Hi.
My name's Andrew. I'm the general manager here. This is private property and there's a licensed venue asking you to leave the premises.
And as we know from Joey Carbstrong, if somebody asked you to leave, now you've committed a crime. You've committed a crime. Hagbard says, I'm going to picture this happening to my daughter and imagine spraying Easy Off in their eyes. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Oh, I would love it if somebody came to my kid's birthday party and did something like this.
Under the Liquor Control Act, if you don't leave a licensed premises, you can get arrested. You're fully aware of
why are you? Yeah, but I'm just wondering. We've just got here. Why are you asking us to leave?
As a licensed venue, I'm telling you.
Why are you asking us to leave? Well, I don't know, girls. I don't know, gals.
You're asked to leave As an approved manager, you're asked to leave a licensed premises. If you refuse to do so, under the Liquor Control Act, you can get arrested. That's the second time I've asked you to leave.
Like, he's being pretty nice, right? Because he didn't have to actually go through this process of warning them several times. He'd be like, hey, you're not welcome here. You need to leave. And if they refuse, he can just call the cops. He's trying to be a good guy. He's trying to be the good guy. He's trying to say, hey, I know you hot ladies. I know you got your beliefs and your hot pants. You know, maybe we could get together. Maybe we could go have dinner. I'll get you a vegan meal. Hagbert says my wife would likely cripple them. Yeah, so would mine.
Leave now. If I have to ask you a third time, I will ask the police to come here and arrest you.
What have we done wrong?
Under the Liquor Control Act, you have to leave a licensed premises when you've been asked to do so.
Well, you're promoting animal slavery.
I've already informed you.
This is animal slavery. Why do you have animal slavery here?
Guys, hey.
But it's very hot today.
I'm being very polite to you.
These animals don't want to be here. There are other methods for children's entertainment without exploiting others and using them as slaves.
Okay, guys.
They do not want to be here.
You raising your voice is actually causing more problems.
They're just here to speak up on behalf of these oppressed beings who can't speak for themselves.
You're more than welcome to, but not here, and I've already asked you to leave. So we will be calling the police to have you escorted off the premises. Okay?
Animals are not entertainment, commodities, objects, machines, or food. If you view them in this way, you're an animal abuser.
And you will never, never get into these hot pants. Let me tell you what, buddy. Never.
Stop exploiting and abusing animals. It's 2022. Why are we still doing this to them? It's barbaric and outdated. Animals.
Trami wants to know, does this convince anyone? Like, I'm asking sincerely. No, it doesn't. Because it's way too confrontational. It's way too, low fidelity.
Are not here for us. If you're not vegan, you're an animal abuser, and the blood is on your hands.
Trami says, perfect. It's current year. It's current year, and we're still doing this? Oh, my God.
No matter how well you treat your slaves, it doesn't take away the fact that they're enslaved and they're blatant slaves.
So you're actually causing yourself to get cancer. So, well done. Thanks so much. Yeah, okay, no problem.
The privilege of being able to be arrested. Should we talk about that?
This is demeaning and cruel.
Again.
And the animal holocaust.
If you were here tied up, I'd be speaking up for you too.
Trami says this is harassment, I'm pretty sure. Alternatively, disturbing the peace. Yeah. And as we learned with Joey Carbstrong, he was like, well, if somebody doesn't ask me to leave, it's not really a crime. It's a misdemeanor. It's a civil matter. Well, they have been asked to leave. So now they are committing a crime. Back of the sign says animals aren't here for us any more than black people were for white or women for men. Holy shit. Oh boy. Oh boy. Don't you love it? If it's about everything, then it's about nothing, gals.
I've asked you not to raise your voices. I'm not raising my voice to you. Am I? Alright?
You're not raising your voice like you're
If you truly cared about animals, you wouldn't support this exploitation and slavery. We can enjoy animals in sanctuaries where they're living in freedom.
In sanctuaries where they live in freedom. Well, technically not, because they live in sanctuaries.
Without this
Go to a zoo. Go to a zoo and yell about the lions, please.
exploitation, they're being commodified. This is no different to human slavery. They're just a different species.
Where did you get your shirt printed? Do you know how that's made?
Exactly.
Would you like to actually go down this route or not really?
Are you vegan? Or do you abuse animals? Do you pay for people to slit animals' throats?
I can't have an adult conversation with you, can I?
You're just deflecting.
Me and you're not actually listening to what I'm saying.
No, I didn't. I responded to you. I didn't talk over the top.
And I've already asked you to leave these premises multiple times, yeah?
Are you vegan or are you an animal abuser?
If you're vegan or if I'm vegan, I'm...
Are you a vegan or you're an animal abuser? I didn't avoid your question. I didn't avoid your question at all. Oh.
I'm not asking you that.
Are you vegan or are you an animal abuser?
Are you asking us to leave because we're vegan?
No.
Why are you
I like the half-hearted way that they're trying to block out that there's children here.
We'll get you under the Discrimination Act.
You'll get us
Being discriminatory.
Fantastic. Do you know what the Liquor Record Act is? Do you know what the Liquor Act is?
Yes, I'm aware.
You are? Fantastic. So we'll wait until the constables arrive and they can explain it to you as well. No problem.
Hagrid says, listen, Toots, let me mansplain this to your tiny lady brain. Rami says it to Hagrid, remember to breathe.
You nicely, and you don't want to have an adult conversation with me, that's more than okay.
What would you like to talk about? I don't see how my t-shirt is relevant to this.
He asked you how it was produced, how it was made. What suffering occurred for your shirt to be made? You fucking Mongol.
Happy to have a chat. Yeah, well, we're here to protest. We are raising our voices.
Just waiting.
Thanks, mate. Blatant animal abuser.
Absolutely, we're standing up for what we believe in, so yes.
What heroes? What heroes? Hagrid says, you ruined my little princess this special day. I will toss a bucket of AIDS in your face. And then Trami says, we're being abused by the law, and that's equal to rape. Rape allegations. They got a nice bottom, though. Nice bottoms, though, mate. Actually, I think their channel is called v-gan-booty. Like v-gan-booty.
You're being recorded at the moment, huh? Alright, just so you know, the camera's recording. My name's Connor from Fremantle Police.
Okay.
Can you tell me what's going on there?
So there's some slaves there, so we just went in because we think it's immoral and we just want to be a voice for them, and so we decided to go in and be a voice for those animals.
Did they ask you to leave?
No comment.
Then why didn't you leave?
No comment.
No comment.
Alright, so what's the plan today?
No comment.
Alright. Have you got any IDs on you? You have to provide us with ID.
And you know, they're just going to let him go. They're just going to let him go.
I might do in my car, but I can provide you details.
You have to provide your...
I mean, where would she keep her ID in these sweet, hot fucking pants?
There's no details, yes.
Yes, I'm happy to give... I don't have my card on me. It's in my car over here.
Well, you're carrying a purse. I don't believe you. I don't believe you, lady.
Yeah, but I can provide you my details.
I had to bring her purse. Why did she have to bring her purse, by the way? Just curious. Women be shopping.
We had that conversation last time at Quarter Slow. I told you if someone asks you to leave in a private premises, you have to leave. Otherwise, it's trespass. Remember I said that to you?
No comment.
Okay.
Yes. So they know these girls. They know these girls. Well, if you've already fucking told them before, They're known quantities. Hagbert says, well, you see, Shaun, biological women have a built-in pocket. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You mean menstruators? Is that who you're talking? Are you talking about menstruators?
Do you want to walk to the shade? It's a bit cooler.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Thanks, you Grove.
Yeah.
How do you spell your last name?
Peterson.
What's your date of birth?
21st of November, 1993.
And your address? 2 seconds, okay? Just stay here.
Sure.
I just felt very old. These children. Hagbert says, yes, they're kind of like the old kangaroo brand sneakers. Oh, we gotta hold on. We know what's going on. Vegan activists target a pony event.
Who's the owner of these innocent slaves?
Okay, so this is what they do. They go to children's parties and they harass people.
She's not. No, it's okay, ladies. Please, it's the children are here, and I want you to respect
Yeah, I
the
just
children.
want to know who the slave owner is.
Okay,
because
thank
this is
you.
disgusting.
So
This is
ladies-
animal abuse.
You know what's disgusting? You're asking out of your I'm sorry.
Why are you jealous, mate?
Jealous?
Why are you jealous, mate? It always comes down to this kind of shit with these people. So this woman here is just like, yo, there's kids here. You don't need to be yelling this shit at kids. There are probably other avenues you could take, more productive ways of doing this. Because you're not going to stop. They're not going to stop the party. They know that the cops are going to be called. They're going to be removed. So this is not actually about doing anything other than making a video.
Ladies, say nothing.
These innocent slaves, look at you objectifying them, turning them into unicorns and putting flowers on them and walking them around like slaves. It's disgusting. This is blatant animal slavery and abuse.
I hope you're enjoying your abuse.
If you were in their position, would you be happy? If you were in their position, would you be happy? So if you were a slave and you were treated happily and well, then that's okay. That makes it more.
If you were paraded around. Well, in
The children.
They're slaves. They've been conditioned to be this way. If they could speak, they wouldn't want to be like.
Could you just step away from them? Just keep
I'm a voice for these innocent beings, and I'm just pointing out that this is slavery and this is disgusting animal abuse. These animals deserve to live freely from harm.
There are children here, please. The children are there,
Yeah,
please.
what about these innocent beings that are
I'm asking you to
slaves?
respect the children, please.
I'm asking you to respect these innocent beings.
That's okay. I understand your point of view, but I would ask you to be very respectful to the
So
children.
are you the slave owner of these slaves?
Travis says, no, I'm not built for walking on all fours.
If this isn't objectifying non-human animals, then I don't know what is. They're asking me to step away, but I'm just trying to expose this slavery.
It's in Fremantle Fishing Boat Harbour. Please.
Point. We already
And they
understand
won't
what you're,
leave, and there are
what you're
children.
saying.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the public to.
Please.
I'm trying to create a
They're
public
abusing the
awareness.
two handlers of the pony.
So
myself,
if you were
and there
carrying
are
around
children
some
around,
humans
and she
and I was speaking up for them, you'd probably
Please,
be
we're
on my
outside.
side and understanding. But
All
because
of our ponies.
Trami says, fundamentally, these have to just be witches that have found a morally acceptable way to be such. A little bit. I agree.
Are old. They walk. You just need a weekend to stop them from getting arthritis. So
So no, this is not abuse. Basically, paddy.
Well, no, they're just.
You need to parade them for entertainment just so you can...
Parade them. We're sitting there with people taking photos.
What do you think parading is?
Yeah, but they can't consent.
Yeah, these ponies probably have a great life. Because you can't take sick, injured ponies out to children's events. These ponies get pampered in ways that most ponies and horses never will experience. Hagbert says, could you please send the cops experienced in the old wood shampoo method?
This is nonsense. They could just stop and say no behaviour.
They can't say no. They don't have a voice.
Yeah, exactly. They can't tell you whether they like it or not. So you can say you treat.
Well, then how can you? But then how can you say if they can't tell you whether they like it or not? Then who are you to say whether they do or they don't? First of all, second of all, animals do communicate to you when they're in discomfort. You can tell. If I grew up on a farm, spent a lot of time with horses and goats, rabbits, all sorts of stuff. You know, they do communicate that stuff to you. Tarami says, because as we've said 1,000 times, they're not spending their time and energy efficiently. It's not even because people like this especially expose the grift. That this is just about their own personal clout. It actually has nothing to do with anything that they say or purport to be about. It's just about their own personal sense of feeling good. Oh, we've done something. We changed something. We said something. That's it. And it doesn't have to go past that for them because they're fucking gross millennials. And I could say that. I think I'm an older millennial. Am I an older millennial? I'm like one of the last of the millennial age. 35. Hagbert says she's the fucking pony Lorax.
What about their behaviour when they show that they don't want something? Because they're so conditioned and manipulated by slave owners that they don't know any better. Yes, this is blatant animal exploitation. They can't consent to whether they.
What if it was a human in this position? Do you view them as inferior to humans?
Oh boy. Yeah, I actually, I would come out with a big swing and I would say yes. I do think they're inferior to humans. Does that mean I think animals should be treated cruelly? No. But I do view them as inferior. Oh my god. Oh, these girls got some videos. Vegans go topless in public. Angry farmer takes on vegans. Vegan protest disrupted by police. Gucci staff versus naked vegans. Let's do it. We'll try that one. Why not? Why not? I'll say this. They're fit. They're fit. Tarami says, go invent great tasting feeding products or something. Yes, give us a reason. It is about the sensory experience after all, as we've been told over and over again. It's the only thing that's stopping us from crossing that threshold. Hagbert says we should see the topless ones for science. For science. For facts and logic. I don't think none of them really go topless. They don't actually go topless. But they claim this is being naked. So we'll see.
If you're not vegan, you're an animal abuser. Watch Dominion on YouTube for the truth. See what
Dominion, it comes up again. Dominion, it comes up again. This documentary. My God, I might have to kick it up tomorrow night at some point and watch Dominion. I've seen parts of it. I have not watched the whole thing. I wanted to watch it before the debate, just because it was something that Nico, the guy that's going to be debating Prophet, had talked about as an inspiration. One of the things that turned him vegan. So I'm going to watch it at some point. It might be privately. I don't know. Because, it's fucking 2 hours long. And I'm going to, if I can put it on the background of my life and probably get what it's saying. But I don't know. There may be a surprise broadcast tomorrow night. I'm not going to promise anything. I got a kid. I got a wife who's pregnant. which we found out. We found out what we found out the gender, or the sex of the baby rather, and also the gender, because we're gonna do that. We're gonna have a little boy, Ronan Bowie. Good times.
What happens in our own country? Animals want to live.
Trami says, run it on D-Live and I'll be company. Hey, it could happen. I can't promise anything. It could happen, but I can't promise it.
Just like us. Animals feel pain. Just like
Hybrid says, Mazel Tov. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it, man.
animals have families. Just like us.
We just want to educate you on where we're at, where the business at.
We actually had a chat to me about it.
but
It's
we
fantastic, but there's still murder in there, and that's why we're here.
Yeah,
it's
okay,
fantastic.
okay, but why don't you want to work with people? Yeah, to do it in a positive way, not a negative. This is very aggressive, very confronting.
What about the animals who have their throats slit?
Hang on, let's just have a quiet chat, okay? Can you just control them just so we can have a quiet chat with you?
Who's this guy in the background with the sign to watch Dominion? Is this her dad? Her uncle, maybe? Or maybe just a guy that's part of the group trying to get a little strange.
Kill them.
No, like,
here's my card.
we're just trying to have a conversation.
But I just want you to see that we are making the right strides as a company. It is something that we actually believe in. We went
seriously.
for years ago. This one here, I mean, it doesn't happen overnight. These things take time.
I know, and that's why we're pushing for the change.
So again, we're doing it.
It takes big because there's politics of the business. But we just want to work with you, not have your people. I got pushed with a board. I had people telling me that I was like, this one told me I was a fuckwit. I don't think that's appropriate.
Trami says, no, animals don't have families. Most species we eat have very different social constructs. Yeah, I think you could say that. I don't even know if we could call it social constructs. In a very broad sense, we could, right? But not as we as humans understand it. But yeah, it's a different thing. It's a very different thing. But they anthropomorphize everything. They just think everything is as if they were experiencing it. And they don't. That's what they do. Same thing with the guy that Prophet's going to debate on Friday. As long as he doesn't ghost us. I hope he doesn't ghost us. But that's that's part of their thing. They're trying to find equity. They even out everything. They say, well, they're just like people. They call them persons.
You swore at me in there. I do not even swear.
We're all non-violent actors.
We are non-violent. But you're actually the one with there. He actually put his board into me. It's all on camera.
Oh my God, is that Lady Gaga?
Assaulted in there. We just need to be able to talk. Thank you so much. Have a lovely weekend. Just do it in a nice way. We're open to this. We're animal lovers ourselves.
So do
whether
you
you
treat the
believe it or
animals
not,
nice?
we're
But
at
us
different
women wouldn't have
levels.
the rights that we do today if women didn't disrupt for us. This is how social change is created. We're not here to personally attack you. We're here to gain the media attention and spread the message. We're not here to antagonize you. Because you're not vegan.
But we're making strides towards it. It doesn't happen overnight, and everything that you're wanting, they need to make the products. They need to. It takes research.
Look at this hot mama right here. It's never cool to do whatever. It's never cool to buy Gucci.
I'll tell you, it would happen overnight if every single customer didn't buy any more animal products because they felt terrible about it. Because they knew
we're here for the consumerism, target the consumers.
That's your point of view, right?
That's her smug point of view. She's like, checkmate. And they're like, yeah, well, that's just how you feel.
But then they may have a different.
Correct. And why is their different point of view wrong? Why is it wrong? Your point of view, but we should be respecting one another, okay? And it's okay to have a voice, but let's do it in a constructive way. That's all we're saying. And it's okay for two people not to see eye to eye or not. And education is key.
I'm not going to change.
No. We're not asking.
They're being way too kind to these people. Way too kind to these people. They're coming out being like, listen, you can. There's good ways of doing this, constructive ways of doing this, and there's negative ways of doing this. And you might be turning people off, and you might be turning Gucci as a company off to actually doing anything if this is your approach. It's very hostile.
Yeah, whether we see eye to eye, it's about what's right and wrong.
But can I ask?
But wouldn't it be better to do an educational information like night if people with bring clients in? Wouldn't it be better that we do that?
That's not how social change works. Disruptive activism is the most
So
powerful weapon
what
for
change?
social
How do you
change.
measure
I'm not
that?
going to change
But
what
how
I'm
do you?
doing.
I'm not asking.
Travis says, yeah, but this gets me clicks.
But I'm saying, how do you measure that it's actually having change? How are you measuring
Science
it?
and history has shown.
No, but how are you measuring it? You're saying
By
that
the
you
amount
have
of people that I reach.
and so are they actually changing? Are they stopping purchasing?
Yeah.
Like how do you measure that? You're not measuring it. You're taking that on hearsay.
But I don't take advice from non-vegans. I'm an animal rights activist. I'm here to speak.
I don't take advice from non-vegans, god damn it. She's trying to make a point. She's like, how many people actually agree with you, or how many people are just looking at the freak show?
On animals who are subjected to rape, torture, enslavement, abuse, and murder. I will never change my methods. Yes, animals are raped into existence via artificial insemination. Please watch Dominion on YouTube just to understand what is
I'm
happening
absolutely open to it. I've got no, but I just don't understand. Like you said,
I hate this thing where Carhartt has become like a fashion thing. Like wealthy, out of touch people start wearing Carhartt. I remember when Carhartt was farm attire. Maybe they're trying to be like ironic or something. I don't know. I doubt it. I really doubt it. I really doubt they thought that deep about it.
say you're not an aggressive activist. I got a board, I got threatened, I got called a fuckwit in front of clients. That's not acceptable. That's not acceptable for... It actually is true. That's not true. It is true. So it's true. And it's all on camera. It's all on camera.
Really? Because we've got everyone on camera pushing us. We've actually got on camera everyone pushing us.
Saw you.
Excuse me, you're doing all the talking. Excuse me, you're doing all the talking. We have proof.
What's confronting is animals about to...
It's like it's just a parade of Karens out here on both sides. It's awful. Travis's Carhartt was definitely a thing around these parts a decade or so ago. Yeah, when I was growing up, because I worked on in farm apparatuses, Carhartt was a thing. People wore it. It was it's good, durable clothing, and now it's just a sweatshirt for this guy to wear while he does this. Hagbert says, go see what they're doing to Red Wing boots.
have their throat slit. Okay, whatever happened in there is nothing compared to what those animals
so
are
you're
subjected
condoning it,
to.
but you're saying that you're non-aggressive activist. So which one are you? Are you aggressive
I never
activist
said I
or
condoned it. I'm just saying
not violent,
nothing
and we're
compared
not
to it.
hostile, but we are
But you are.
aggressive as far as passion.
No.
If someone plays a good game of football and they're aggressive on the football
Yeah.
field,
So do you
they
call-
play a good game
so
of
you call
football.
someone a fuckwit?
Exactly.
No,
I
that's
don't
not
use that.
aggressive?
I don't use that.
Wouldn't it make more sense to sit down with some of these bigger companies and see if you can make change in that way?
At a higher level.
That's
That's
what
what
I
I
do. I'm a
was
disruptive animal rights
Okay,
activist.
but
I don't know why
maybe
you're
you
questioning me.
might-
Am I making you realise that you're an animal abuser? Is that why you have
not
a problem with
Not
it?
at all.
But it
Because
may-
it shows
may
we're
more-
open-minded,
make more
but we're saying we understand how companies like this work, and that this approach.
Of course, but I'm here to target consumers.
Yeah.
I go into different businesses to try and change
I understand that. I've
consumers.
seen you on YouTube and on Facebook and
Trauma says D-Live crashes a lot for me tonight. Odd. I'm sorry, man. It's all good on my end. I got green bars, so I'm sorry that's crashing for you. Trauma says maybe this is making the video decoder so angry it snaps.
different places like that, social platforms. I actually respect the work that you're doing. I respect that you're confident enough to get out there and be in uncomfortable situations and speak your truth. I do respect that. But also, if you're saying that you're non-aggressive activists, then why come in with such aggression, number one, and allow and condone the people that are with you?
With passion and urgency, because animals, as I said, are subjected to horrific violence. I need to speak urgently on the trillions of beings that are being brutally murdered every year.
But then I don't think you can say confidently and comfortably and honestly that you're a non-aggressive activist.
I said I'm a non-violent activist. And I don't swear at anyone, I don't push anyone.
So why do you condone it happening from the team that are around you, your people, your supporters, your followers that are with you on this journey today?
I'm not in charge of what other activists do. We're all on a mission to try and stop animal oppression. I'm sorry that happened to you, but I don't condone that.
Okay.
Because I'm a non-violent activist, I would never push or swear at anyone.
Okay, I do appreciate that. It should have come from the people that have done that, but I appreciate that you've got the level head, the maturity to actually see through that.
Why?
I'm so sorry. So yeah.
Why do they placate them? Like, why play games with somebody like this?
Happy to do something else with you in a different space. Do you want me to give you my business card? I'm absolutely happy to do that. I am actually an animal lover, believe it or not. Like, understand that, but happy to work with you, okay? In a different way. But please, I think you just need to tell the people that work with you, because they're ruining your brand. They're ruining your mission.
What happened.
Please,
I'll tell you what.
Get out of my face, please. I'm talking to.
I will stand there if I want to.
I'm not being disrespectful.
Well, you're being disrespectful to me when you said I called a fuckwit, which I never. What I said, you looked me up and down and said, look at the way you're dressed, look at you. And I said, what's fucking wrong with it? I said, effing. That was it. That was it. I've got it on camera. And I said to you,
we're happy to work. Yeah.
You only like hearing your own voice, don't you? You only like hearing your own voice. Yeah.
And again, from.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Trauma says, yeah, most dictators are nonviolent. They merely express a wish for a result. Their inferiors deal with the violence. I mean, they're just talking. You know, they're just saying things.
At a higher authority level, we've escalated this to the people above us that have more power. And again, they've educated us on how to handle it, what to do, and they're open to conversations too. No. I'm not an aggressive person. No, definitely not. Yeah. So I'm actually quite shaking because I got a board pushed into me, and then got sworn at. So I'm quite jittery because of those things, you know.
That's
so you
not
don't
true,
understand.
Dan.
It is because it's
That
on
is
camera.
not true. I've got it on camera. I've got it on camera. Do you want to?
Travis says she can't condone violence, but she sure won't mind it. And she said as much. She's like, well, you know, I can't do I can't speak for what other animal liberation activists do. That's really not me. I'm not doing it.
Want to check it?
Yeah, check it. Absolutely.
You want to check it?
Yeah.
Have you got the voice recording? Have you got the voice recording?
Yeah, I'm happy to show the footage to the police of this man pushing the board into me and you swearing at me.
I didn't. I said you're in my fucking face. That's what I said. I didn't call you a fuckwit.
I didn't intentionally push you. You're moving me out of the way. You're touching me. You're in my space. You're in the room.
He's making lies about it.
Now it becomes damage control. Now it becomes damage control. Who did what to who?
That's fine.
Alright. You guys just keep it peaceful? Yeah. Alright.
Yes.
So we give everyone enough room to enter, alright? So can you take another step that way? Yep. Alright. So they give plenty of room to enter. And we're happy.
No, I didn't.
Cool.
No, I didn't.
So we'll have a look at that footage.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. Well, that's fine. We've spoken to the young lady that was in charge of it all. We're happy to talk into the mediums, but yeah.
You're walking along a fine line.
Why did you cover up, lady? Why did you cover up, mate? Well, there you have it. There you have it. The strong activism of v-gan-booty. V-gan-booty. Whew. We hardly knew ye. We hardly knew ye. All right. Well, let's check this. We got like two more. We'll watch like two more videos. I say that now. Two more videos. These are from Jubilee. They're kind of like a trash TV of the internet. But they did some vegan content. Trami says, leather is one of those things I won't really budge on. It's just way, way too good of a material.
Dead, carcass, pain, suffering, fear.
So this is a show called Middle Ground that they do on Jubilee. They'll talk to people from different perspectives, and then they'll have them talk to each other to try to create dialogue, find a middle ground.
Can I have all of my vegans go into that pool of light, and my non-vegans in that pool of light. First statement, taste plays a big factor in my eating choices.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
They all went to the chair for taste factor? For the taste factor. They all went to the chair. Oh, we're going to have some very high quality conversation here. Travis says, create dialogue. Yeah, I won't get my hopes up.
The huge thing for me. I think it's one of my weaknesses, actually. Like butter, salt. It's one of my weaknesses.
I love food. And I think my relationship with food actually deepened when I became vegan. I don't think I appreciated it as much as I did before.
Look at the fucking crazy eyes on this one.
Vegan.
Like, oh my God.
My name is Aubrey Davis, and I have...
She's like a
I've been
demon.
vegetarian for 24 years and vegan for 13 years.
I believe that humans are the top of the food chain.
Meat eaters rock. Come on, guy. What are you doing back there? Get over on the chair. Come on.
Is a human at the same level of equivalence as like a fish?
Right.
That's probably a big reason why I'm not vegan anymore.
Right.
Is I didn't see that I had to see myself at a moral equivalent of a fish. And it gets into moral questions like, you know, why should we have a pet that's a dog rather than eat the dog? And I think the most important question is, why should I love my neighbor rather than eat my neighbor? My name's Steve Michalski. I was a vegan for a year. I was a vegetarian for 2 years.
So, oh, no. Don't bring these people in here. No. Don't ruin this. This dude's off to a good start. He's off to a good start. He's talking about real things. Come on now. They had to go and fucking ruin it.
2 years. I'm a meat eater now. I've been so for over 5 years.
Like, I don't even see, like, what is, like, a food chain? You know what I'm saying? That's just some construct some guy made and put a little diagram and put us human beings on the top, so.
Are you fucking kidding me? What even is a food chain? It's just some arbitrary thing some dude did. He just created it. I mean, what does that even mean, bro? Like, give me good fucking God.
I don't think it's a question of whether we're at the top. I think it's a question of what do you do with that? If you have a more conscious energy than an animal, what do you do with that power? Do you choose to take a life?
Dude, I fucked a girl like this once, okay? It was awful.
Or do you choose to live in...
She was like a dead fish.
Love.
I put a lot of thought into my meals.
Felt like I had committed a crime.
The way I support my body and my health is extremely important. I don't find that I can function at my best, either healthy, productive, emotionally stable, or intellectually capable, unless I have a lot of proper nutrients in my diet. 6 years ago, I became vegan because I got sick. I started to realize that my health was directly attached to what I ate. Since then, my friends and family have supported me to feeling better, and I'm better than I was before I got sick.
I don't really like cook or anything, so I don't really put too much thought into what I eat, I guess.
I live a fast pace, kind of like I'm working late nights or I'm waking up early, so sometimes it's easier to grab this quick processed sandwich, or I wish I planned my meals out more. I think I would feel a lot better.
I think it's really powerful no matter what you're eating to put your intentions into, whether it's prayer, invocation, and it's just such great power and presence versus just like scarfing something down, but like, can I just really be present with this meal, take my time and chew it?
See, this is the thing. It can't just be about sustenance. It has to be about a way of life. It's spiritual. It's religion. It's religion to a lot of these people.
Slowly. So that's the first thing that I resonate with and what I choose to do.
I would kill an animal.
Oh yeah, I like my boy. My boy right here, he's like, fuck yeah, I'd kill an animal, dude. Fuck yeah, I would. Man's gotta eat. Man's gotta eat. These people right here, delusional. Because I assume, like, this question kind of implies some sort of basic innate nature of like survival. If you were in that situation, if you had to survive, would you kill an animal to live? All of these fucking people would. They'd be the first people to beg you to go fucking kill a boar. Trami says, have these people ever been under stress, like for weeks and months? I don't think so.
I think there'd be tons of context where I'd kill an animal. Like if a lion's going to go kill a baby, I'd probably kill an animal. I'd kill an animal to save a human life, and I get that vegans probably wouldn't do that.
If I could do...
I get that vegans probably wouldn't do that. Well, doesn't that make them kind of immoral agents? If they wouldn't kill an animal to save a human life, that means your perspective on the hierarchy of value, your priorities are all fucked up.
Something to prevent?
Because suddenly, right, the argument is, we've heard over and over and over again, is that, well, what if that was you in the slaughterhouse? Wouldn't you want to be saved? Would you want that to happen to you? Well, what if an animal was about to fucking off you? What if an animal is about to eat your ass? Would you hope somebody came and shot it in the back of the head? Would you like a Ghost in the Darkness situation? Would you like some hunters out there killing that fucking wild lion that's out there stealing children, eating kids, and eating people from your village? Would you want somebody to stop that?
Killing them? Besides eating them? Like if I was protecting myself and we had like a something that we could do to...
Trami says, I wonder how many vegans have kids compared to others. Genuinely curious. I don't know. That's a good question. That is a good question. Because it, like, some of their arguments would kind of, to me, I would intuit that they don't. They don't have, like, families. They don't have things that they don't have stakes in the same way that somebody that, like, is married and has a child and has to work and go out in the world and has a house. They don't have those considerations. It's like the same thing you see so many times. All of these like champagne socialists, champagne communists, like about property rights, because they can afford these like very nice apartments in metropolitan areas. And they're just like, why would you need to own anything? Why would you ever want to own anything? It's so many times you're just like, well, consider the source. Hagbert says, I would want you to call Val Kilmer and Michael Douglas immediately. Exactly. We'd want them out there, keeping us safe. Trami says, but going off of what we've seen these past days, none of them seem to have kids. I agree. I don't think many of them do. I don't think many of them have to contend with like the median lifestyle of a person. I really don't. I'm speaking from the perspective of somebody in the Western world. Imagine if you were to take this and like take this perspective and go out to tribes or go out to third world countries or wherever and try to tell people like, well, you know, you guys really should be nicer to animals. They're not your slaves, guys.
To get that animal away, I would definitely try to not kill it. I mean, I feel
if it comes down to you with the animal.
What a fucking coward. I would try to scare it away. I wouldn't try to kill it. Dude, if it was life or death, you'd fucking go for it. You'd fucking kill that thing. If it posed any threat to your natural life, you would kill it. I remember getting in this argument with people when, remember Harambe? I felt like I was the only person in my personal sphere that was, I stuck up for the mom. I was like, that's the worst day of her because everybody's like, what an awful mother. Not paying attention. Her kid falls into this thing, and now they have to kill this gorilla. I was like, dude, that's the worst day of that mother's fucking life. And if you have any experience with children, any experience at all, you know that a 4 or 5-year-old, as soon as you turn away, you look away for 10 seconds, they're somewhere else. Something bad could happen. Everybody, like if you have a kid, you kind of understand that. And I was like, and I remember telling people, I was like, you know, you kill Harambe 10 times. You kill 10 Harambes to save one kid. And I was met with a lot of consternation, I'll tell you. People look at me like I was a fucking monster. And I will never budge from that. You could kill 10 Harambes, and it does not even equate to one human child. Hagbert says his death started the spiral. Of course, I remember Harambe. Dick's out. Dick's out for Harambe.
You killing the animal?
I would.
No, they're going to give up their life for the fish.
Why is it always the
But think about
extreme
this.
case when talking about would I kill an animal? Like,
yeah, exactly.
if you were in
Tarami says, is that the next Zubok special? Shaun fights 10 gorillas. Well, as long as they got a gun, I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go if I got a gun with 12 shots. Gonna give me a gun with 12 bullets? I'll give it a go. And we'll see what happens. We'll let God sort it out, if you will.
this situation.
There aren't lions running around downtown LA.
When I was into hiking, there's mountain lions that come and kill people. You've known that, right? That's
Yes,
in Orange County,
totally.
right? That's not in the jungle in Africa.
It's not an everyday situation of
but-
would you kill an animal?
But it's Orange County. Mountain lions have killed hikers, kids. Would you
Totally.
just let them? No, let the kid
Yes.
die.
We're hiking in the mountains and there's a mountain lion. I have to be aware of the fact that I'm in mountain lion territory and be like, I'm okay with the risk. Because to be honest, I'm not hiking with a gun. I have no way to defend my friend.
What a fucking absurdist perspective. Yeah, I'm in their territory. So I'm in their territory. So if they want to fucking kill me, I'll just let them. I'll just let them do it. Because I'm not going to defend myself, and I'm not going to bring anything to defend myself, because that would be wrong. Fucking touched. Fucking touched. Hagbert says, then you, my friend, are lunch. Yeah, that dude would be fucking lunch. Can you even imagine? Imagine all of the thousands, millions of years of self-preservation that we've evolved to understand, and being like, well, fuck all that. Fuck all that. I'm in the woods, and I just got to accept that a bad thing might happen to me. Even the grizzly man didn't think that.
Don't hike with a hiking pole?
I mean, a
I don't
hiking pole
hike,
against
I
a
don't-
mountain lion?
I don't think you're winning.
I just want to say, like, even if I did, and even if my attempt were to be successful, I would feel awful having killed the mountain lion.
Well, your feelings are your foundation then for your beliefs then.
100%. Are human beings animals?
Yes.
Yes. Sure.
Would you kill another human being to save another human being?
Yes.
Yes, most people would. 1,000% they fucking would. Trauma says, I wonder if he's okay with being shot for being in the wrong neighborhood. Well, hey, he's not in his correct territory, especially with those braids.
What makes one person more valuable to another? Is it your relationship to that person?
It would probably be.
So if, for example,
It's not just your relationship to that person. It's about who is causing who harm. You could be a good Samaritan. You could be a stranger. You could see somebody attacking another person and intervene. Come on.
raise an animal in the wild, it's like an animal I've built a relationship with, and that animal now threatens the life of a human being that I don't know, but I've known that animal its entire life. What makes killing that animal as just cause okay as opposed to saving that life? I have a longer relationship with that animal.
What the fuck are you talking about? It's not the same. We don't value things like this is the thing that I cannot stand about these people. They try to flatten out everything. It's all pedantic, it's all unnuanced. There's nothing interesting about anything this dude is saying. It's the dumbest fucking retarded argument ever. And he says it with such confidence. Like, this is the way it is. Are you out of your fucking mind? How, like, the idea that you would value the life of a dog over, like, a human child, let's say. Because that's how they feel. They don't think there's a difference. They don't think there's a fucking difference. Unsettling. Unfucking settling. Good God. Send your kids into the public school system. It's people like this that are their teachers. Trust me, I know. I'm dealing with it right now. A lot of stress this week because of this kind of shit. Because of these kinds of psychopaths with restorative justice degrees and braids and fucking, I don't even know what, a bandana. Trying to appropriate some sort of African garb. Trauma says, children especially. Our herd mentality when children are at stake goes apeshit. It should. It should. But people like this beat that out of themselves. They beat it out of themselves. Because they don't know. And they don't care. And they've accepted a construct where that is not true. It's fucking disturbing. Sorry. I'll continue the video. I apologize.
Animal. Why would I kill the animal before I'd save that person?
Because
it's about relationship.
You kill a person over an animal. That's
Correct. Because I believe human beings are animals.
Now, I see humans at a different level, but maybe you value fish at the same level as a person. We see it very different.
I do.
Like the smug asshole. I do. Listen to this. Listen to what he just said.
With that animal. Why would I kill the animal before I'd save that person?
Because they flatten out, it's just about your personal relationship to a thing. Well, if my kid broke my 4K TV, I really love my 4K TV. If people at home don't know, I love a good 4K movie. I'm a film enthusiast. I like watching things in 4K with HDR and high definition. I love it. Fucking nothing gets me juiced more than that. So I guess my personal relationship to that would be stronger than that of whatever broke it. I know. I'm being, that's a little unfair, but still, come on. Trauma says they don't. They just believe they're above it, just like they think they're above pushing someone overboard to save themselves. Oh, they would. They would though. If you were to talk about human beings, they would be much quicker to be like, yeah, fucking kill them. Kill them. Because they have agency. They have agency in a way that animals don't. And they get to choose to be in the circumstances that would have led them from me pushing them overboard to save myself.
Because it's about relationship.
You kill a person over an animal. That's
correct. Because I believe human beings are animals.
Now I see humans.
And that's it. The human beings are animals. One category. No differences. No differences at all. There's no hierarchy of value. There's no evolutionary ladder. There's no food chain. No. We're all just animals. Just like when pedophiles say, we're all just moral agents. We're all just adults. Who can say, really?
Different level, but maybe you value fish at the same level as a person. We see it very different.
I do.
Fucking ridiculous.
It costs more than it should to eat healthy.
How is there only one of the vegans coming over for this? Trami says value relativism. Yeah, value relativism. And in this context, I would say it's evil.
It's more expensive to eat healthy. I don't think it's too expensive. Farmer's market is something that I'm trying to frequent more. But sometimes, you can go spend $20.
Travis says, I just like making up terms here. No, but you're whether you're making it up or not, they're appropriate. I don't care if you're making them up or not. They're completely dead on. They're completely appropriate. They make sense. You should write a book. Hagbert says because he is a very modest trust fund. Yeah, just a little bit. Just get that sense, Hagbert. Just maybe a smidge.
Here, and definitely not get as much. I definitely want to see that. Maybe that'll encourage people to eat a little healthier. If you can go grab that fresh fruit, those fresh veggies for $5-10,
I think our culture as a society is just ingrained towards like the fast food culture, which is cheap and accessible. But now I think we have more of a established like medical basis on what's healthy and what's not healthy. And to get that content and to have it be tasty as well is expensive.
I'm running in. I have so much to say. It does not.
Oh, I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do, Karen. Oh.
Costs more money to be vegan. That is a myth. It takes planning.
Oh, she didn't say, nobody said that. They said it costs more to be healthy, not more to be vegan. And it does cost more to be vegan and be healthy.
Yes, the convenience is less. Can you grab a hamburger at McDonald's? For sure, for 99 cents. But how much lentils can you buy? The issue is capitalism. Like, that is what is keeping us where we are. It's not that humans are smarter and they're gonna come up with this technology. The technology exists. It is there. We can feed so many people. It is capitalism and factory farming.
And most of these companies that are selling us products that are like shitty food, they don't give a fuck about you at all, period. Someone's sitting on an island somewhere.
Oh no, they've cracked the code. They've cracked the code. Trami says, yes, planning and convenience translate to cost, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah, like just stacking bread.
And they're
all
probably
this fast food shit.
eating really healthy food too.
Yeah,
they're probably eating real good.
They probably don't touch it. Yeah.
They're not eating any of that shit.
You go to certain neighborhoods, certain areas, you don't see the same fast food. You don't see the same restaurants. And it's all for a reason. You know,
accessibility.
I mean, yeah, that's a good point. It's like they don't have, why is there many health food stores in the hood? How come I can't like get an option? Why is there a liquor store?
Are you fucking kidding me? Why are there not so many health store foods in the hood? Because they would go under. That's why. It's not a smart business plan. Why are there so many liquor stores? Because people will go buy liquor. There's a cultural problem. It's not necessarily a understanding what is good for you problem.
Everywhere.
Exactly.
And it's true. It's like when you break it down, there's like malicious intent to deharmonize and like lower the vibration of certain people and certain areas. And it's like, that's a part of it too. It's like, what am I contributing to?
True.
I'll say this, you know, when I was 11 years old, my father passed away from his second heart attack. He was diabetic. He was pissing out of a tube. I watched him deteriorate my youngest years of my life for like years and years, just deteriorate, taking pharmaceutical drugs and just kind of basically dying slowly because of what he chose to eat. To me, I'd rather spend an extra $1 in either organic or something healthy now and live longer than try to cut corners when, you know.
I'm with you. Like, make the choice now instead of later. Because my mom was the same thing. She died. She was eating.
She died. She ate nothing but McDonald's every day, and she died. Travis says, lower the vibration. Man has a way with words. You got to lower that vibration. If you lower the vibration, everything's going to be good. You know, just eat healthy.
Buckets of ice cream when she passed away. She died at 49 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, I would like to know a little bit more about that. But that's unhealthy. That's an unhealthy choice. Nobody would suggest that, like, well, if you're not vegan, you should just indulge in whatever the fuck you want. Eat as much meat as you want. Eat as much ice cream and dairy as you want. Nobody would ever say that. Nobody would ever say that. It's retarded. Travis says eating buckets of ice cream isn't a problem with isn't a problem with food supply.
Now, choose now.
Choose now, dog.
The more education that we can put out there, just like stuff like this, is beautiful. That's what I was most anxious about, is learning more of what I'm trying to step into. I don't know if I'll ever give up chicken. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't know. I want to eat a lot cleaner chicken.
Do you guys have like cheat days ever?
Hell no.
Hagbert says, Trami, go look up Dr. Sebi. You'll learn all about this. Trami says, de contraire. Got me curious now, Hagbert.
Oh, I am vegan 100% at the front line, ethical reasons, always, always, always. And that's why I don't think in 24 years I've ever gone back.
It was hard to try new things I didn't like, found tons of vegan food that I was like, oh God, what the fuck are you people eating? And then simultaneously realizing that there was options, you know, there's always choices, and it's always choices we make. Like you said, you may never give up meat fully, but it's like you're making a choice. You're at least thinking for yourself and making a decision, and like that's all you can ask people to do, is think for themselves.
I really appreciate each and every one of y'all. Thank you
so much.
Thank you. Really appreciate y'all. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you. Are you
Nice to meet you, lady.
What's up, guys?
I totally would have been like, Fuck you, weirdo.
Guys, I am Amari.
And I am Jason. And Amari.
Oh, no, you don't get to have a commercial here on Nightcap. That's not how it's done, boys. You didn't pay for that commercial. Okay, here we go. So we got another Jubilee video. Well, we can skip the sponsorship. They marked the sponsorship so we could skip it. What a beautiful, what a gift. What a gift. So this one is Hunters versus Vegans. Hunters versus Vegans. Should be good. Should be enticing.
If we were all born like 3 centuries from now, the world has been globalized and like agriculture can reach every corner of the globe. How would that affect, if at all, your views or your choices?
Am I going to be judged if I say not at all?
Am I going to be judged if I just don't agree with you? Travis says Zoobox is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, except no substitute. Hybrid says, are the hunters armed? Well, I hope not, because they may engage in the most dangerous game. Man, I wish I was sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. If you wanna sponsor Nightcap, you're more than welcome. We can do a hot 30 seconds for you.
I became vegan because I could no longer think about eating something that was once living and breathing.
The primary thing that keeps me vegan is just always the animal liberation. The idea
And also just being a completely insufferable douchebag. That's also what keeps you being vegan.
that we are trying to
Dr. Firefly just followed. Welcome, my friend.
push our ideas onto others. That stereotype I've experienced the most.
Hunting is a very hard concept for people to understand. I am in Texas, it's a lot more acceptable, even though being a woman who hunts, people still, have a really hard time with that concept.
I feel like a lot of people think vegans are more effeminate. People will question your sexuality oftentimes.
People will question your sexuality if you're vegan. That's a new one. That's a new one to me.
Grew up in a rural village, living off the land. The way we live is in total respect to the animals, and I think there's so much that people do not know about indigenous culture.
We brought vegans and hunters together to spark a dialogue about animals' well-being in the food industry. I'm sure this will be very elucidating. Unfortunately, one cast member was unable to attend the day of filming, but we still loved the conversation and wanted to share it with you. Trami says, for being vegan, can they tell? They can't, can they? But since you tell them within the first 2 sentences, they'll know. Yeah, okay. Oh, they'll know. They'll know. How do you spot a vegan? They'll tell you.
My name is Danny. I'm queer, I'm vegan, and I'm multiracial.
Hi, my name is Don Mark.
I'm queer, I'm racial, I'm vegan and multiracial. I couldn't even get the words out. Unnecessary.
I've been a vegan for coming on 6 years now. I'm a freelance photographer, and
I'm also black.
Recently moved to the LA area.
My name is Nina. I'm 24. I've been vegan for coming up on 5 years now, and I'm a professional astrologer.
Hi, my name is Brittany. I'm Koyukon Dene from Alaska. I'm a first-generation college graduate, and I went to school in the California area, and I'm currently on a road trip visiting friends to learn whose land I'm on.
I am Carly. I'm from Texas. I'm a wife, a mom. I also do sales and marketing consulting.
I also love to kill. Everybody's going to walk up. Yeah. Travis says, I haven't rolled my eyes this much since I have that demonic possession.
Is that surprising to y'all that 2 hunters walked over?
I would love to hear why. Yeah, I would love to hear it.
Hunters have the utmost respect for animals. And I think that's a really hard thing for people to see. How can you love something and respect something that you kill? It's just a hard concept, right? Conservation is a big reason why I hunt.
Dr. Firefly says, I know a few vegans, very interesting, strange folks.
It only provides food for my family, but I can shoot a certain number of deer each year, and that will keep that population and that herd thriving.
I guess I've never really came at this conversation from like an angle of vegans versus hunters. It's always vegans versus...
Yeah, because you don't think about anything beyond like your own decisions. You don't think about like the idea that like there's plenty of places in the United States even where you have to hunt. Hunting is part of the ecology. Like she said, it's part of what makes herds thrive. Is that they're not overproducing. They're not overpopulated.
A meat eater, so I understand in a sense the respect you have to what you're doing. I just know that I could never do that.
Yeah, and I think that for me is one of my maybe more bigger issues is not with vegans, but it's more people who eat meat but don't understand hunting. So you're gonna eat meat that was slaughtered at a factory, but I can't just give a deer one swift, great bullet in the heart where it dies out where it's supposed to die.
I was one of those people that said I could never even be vegetarian. Like I was probably like the people that you're describing, just, you know, not having a connection to what they're eating. I didn't think about it. And then
I saw a documentary on Netflix. Dr. Firefly says, most vegans that come to my farm lab normally learn that most of everything they know about animals is wrong. Yeah, because there's no practical application for them. They have no practical experience with it. They oftentimes will watch documentaries or read a website, and it just like, you know, because there's brutality involved in what we do as human beings when it comes to animals, and they'll paint with a broad brush. Everything is the same. Every farm is the same. Every process of killing an animal is the same.
As streaming services go, I found a little documentary through the suggestions.
But it changed your life.
And it changed my life. And like I remember I went to brunch that morning and I had like sausage and egg and like fried cheese. And then that night I watched this documentary. And so that's why I'm vegan, because I can't support like us as an industry and as a populace, like removing the choice from that large of a swath of animal populations just because they're animals.
If there was a solution, like just a...
Trami asked Dr. Firefly, can you elaborate? What kind of things do they know? What kind of things do they know that are wrong? So after they've seen your operation, what things do they come away from it? And then Dr. Firefly says they think that animals are always kind to each other, that the only reason is for food.
The magic happens, the skies part, and all the meat is like done in a way that is humane. Would that make you more inclined to eat meat?
I think that you sort of get into the fundamentals of like, is it humane to kill something? I have to understand and respect and honor that, like in indigenous cultures, you know, there's many reasons why people hunt. We would all be remiss if we didn't admit that, you know, at a time in human history, like we needed animal protein and animal meat to survive. But today, it's not necessarily a necessity.
I was being taught ethical hunting by an ethical hunter. And again, I think that's a harder concept here, because trust me, like there are asshole hunters. But that's what I saw conservation, and I saw ethical hunting, and I saw why we do it, and I saw the food. You know, I haven't bought beef. I mean, in 6-7 years.
Can I ask you a question that I'm kind of scared to ask?
Why can't you just take pills? Trami says, there's certainly a heavily idealized view of what natural is.
We'll see.
So you said that you're a mother, and if you think of like Bambi, do you ever consider the small baby animals that you're taking their parents away?
If you ever think of an animal in the context of a Disney film, where all the animals talked and had feelings like people do, would you feel differently? Would you feel differently if animals felt like that? Hard-hitting journalism.
Away from them.
Okay. So Bambi doesn't exist. Right. That's a Disney movie. If a mom is there with her yearlings, you would never kill that mom, right? You wait until she kicks them out of the house.
And that's part of like ethical hunting.
That is like, yeah, no one really, like you wait until.
They don't even know how to argue against what she's saying, because she's just like, yeah, there is a thoughtfulness about it. Dr. Firefly says, I show them the ruse fighting. I show them how they can improve the soil. I show them how cows improve pasture land. That's great. That's awesome. Trauma says, would you shoot Bambi, you murderer? That's definitely what she was leading up to.
Until the babies are kicked out.
I learned from my Tlingit cousins, they're from the southeastern Alaska. They're the ones that invented the fish hook. It was so wide that only a full-grown halibut could get caught. It's a generational thought. You're not just thinking about, oh, I need food tonight. You're like, how do I make sure I protect their natural processes? When fish hooks are made now, anything can go out. So many of our pre-colonial traditions were staying in balance with animals, and we had so many practices that prevented overhunting. And the people who are living off the land, who are fighting for the land, are getting last priority. We're not allowed to fish if there's commercial fishing. We're constantly being watched and fined. It's constantly having land taken away. If you look at any community, it's constantly happening to them where they're told they're not allowed to do this or eat this. It's all connected, it's all a cycle.
Veganism is a privileged way of living.
What? How does the ethical hunter, the outspoken Texas lady, not think veganism is a privileged way of living?
If you have a choice of where you get to get your food,
I'm calling bullshit.
And where it comes from, and even knowing about it is a privilege.
To have the choice to be vegan, that includes, makeup and clothing and all of these things. And, sustainable clothing, for example, is a top dollar if you're trying to buy it.
Yeah. Travis says, she says, of course, speaking for the people, 6 generations back. Trami also says, because I think she's very practical. A live and let live type that doesn't want to throw shade on anyone's choices. That's actually probably true, right? That's probably true.
It new, and thrifting is great, but some people don't even have access to that. And so I think that choice is a privilege and veganism is a choice.
I was born in Haiti, the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, and the fact that my parents were able to leave with me when I was just like 1 year old into the States, like really shaped how my life would go. The lifestyle that I'm living is such a stark contrast from the people down in the Caribbean.
I feel like I have to talk about how veganism, especially in the States and especially in like the global West, has been totally co-opted by, like, I'm just gonna say it, by whiteness. Veganism should.
Oh my God. Oh my God. It always comes back to this shit for some of these people.
Shouldn't be a privilege, in my opinion, but it is. Like the world that we live in now, it is.
Yeah. What do you... Yeah, okay, buddy. I don't even know what to say. Dr. Firefly says, did you guys know Twinkies are vegan? Seriously. Yeah, well, we should just eat nothing but Twinkies. I used to love them. As a child. Chocolate milk and Twinkies. One of my favorite things to eat.
I don't know enough about being a vegan. I think of it as like something that rich white people do, but I don't know. I don't know any vegans. I don't know how much money it costs.
Yeah, a lot of people also from lower income backgrounds or areas, they also rely on fast food.
Hybrid says, bring back bullying. And then Taramik says, Twinkies haven't seen a naturally grown ingredient, so that checks out, I suppose.
Food, and that stuff is really cheap because As far as I understand, the government subsidizes meat and animal products much more than it does vegetables.
When we think about someone who has to work a low-wage job to survive, you also have to think they're probably working more than one job, possibly. You want the easiest meals. You want the highest calorie meals because you're working and you're burning so many calories. So when you're saying, why don't you eat more plant-based, you're asking them to change their shopping habits. You're asking them to...
Dr. Firefly says government subs corn more than anything else. It does, 1,000%.
To spend more time, you're asking them to educate themselves. And when you are working that hard, you have to numb yourself. You are eating to survive. That is different than choosing what you're eating.
Totally. And it's not.
Yeah, but they would reject that. But if they were real vegans, if they were the hardcore people, the Ed Earthling Ed, or the Joey Carbohydrate, whatever the fuck his name is, they would reject that. They would say, no. You can get these other things. Yeah, maybe it costs you $6 or $7 more a pound, but you can totally get these things. You just don't get to eat as much.
Fair to like ask any of those people in survival mode to completely like shift their way of life and learn a whole new lifestyle.
Tarami says that tasty high fructose corn syrup. Hagbert says Twinkies are also not baked.
And I definitely agree with that. I'm just curious, like, if we were all born like 3 centuries from now, the world has been globalized and like agriculture can reach every corner of the globe. How would that affect, if at all, your views or your choices?
Am I going to be judged if I say not at all?
I'm genuinely curious.
Yeah, I'm going to eat meat. I don't want to say there's no reason to not eat meat, but there's maybe no reason for me not to eat meat.
I get it.
I'm feeling judged.
I'm not judging, but I
Dr. Firefly says you can be poor and vegan. It's just not that as tasty. Well, I suppose, but like, how do you supplement all of the natural like vitamins, all the natural like things like B12? How do you supplement those things without having to get them from a different source, which would be like a vitamin or a shot or whatever? Like we've just evolved as this being part of a healthy diet. That does not say that people can't overindulge or make it bad for them. It's all about quantities. It's all about like how much you eat. But I don't know. I haven't met very many actual poor, like functioning poor people that are vegan. I don't know. I could be wrong. Travis says, "Oh, Twinkies. I'm sorry."
I don't understand. I'll be honest. I don't understand.
I mean, like I still cry when I kill something. I mean, I love the animals, but they're still just animals. Like, it's okay to eat one.
Dr. Firefly comes in with more. He says, a plant-based diet will keep you alive. You might not have a great, healthy, lovely life, but plants will keep you alive. Well, that's the thing. Like, you're just not going to be thriving. You're not going to be healthy. Your life expectancy is going to be shorter.
Everyone's been eating meat forever.
That's true.
And
it's been
there's never been a culture ever that was 100% vegan. They have shifted. They're plant-based and Mediterranean and Buddhist, and they have moved towards a culture who was 100% vegan. I don't think has ever existed.
It sounds like it's a natural order kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's interesting to hear because I'm firmly of the belief that like we are animals. So for me,
there's no difference between eating a human burger and a cow burger.
The natural order perspective doesn't hold a lot of water.
Do you guys have pets? Like, in other parts of the world, what you would consider your pet, some people would eat.
But that's there. I mean, like, I don't eat my dog, and I hope none of y'all eat my dog. But that's, I can't worry about someone in China eating dogs. Like, we can all try to make the world a better place. And
it's interesting, though, because it does kind of challenge the natural order perspective. Like,
it doesn't challenge the natural order perspective. It doesn't. It doesn't. It's about what a culture puts value in, how far culture has come down the evolutionary ladder. There are some cultures that do a lot of things that you would disagree with. It doesn't actually create a perspective. I'm not a moral relativist, so I don't engage in this kind of shit. I think it's fucking retarded. The idea that you would just give up what the culture that you come from has gained, morally, ethically, philosophically, and just be like, well, other people live differently, so, who am I to judge? You can judge. You can judge how other people live. We do it all the time. Hagbert says it's available protein. And then Trami says, even cultures who eat dogs habitually keep dogs. We can keep more than one idea in our heads at the same time. Dr. Firefly says, even most herbivore can eat meat. Almost everything can eat meat. That is something else most vegans don't understand. Yeah, I agree.
Where do you draw the line?
Right.
Something to think about in this conversation too is knowing that even when we eat plants, there's so many people that we're exploiting.
Yes.
The core of this, I think, is just having that respect for your food.
I fully agree with that. I think it's such a falsehood when vegans say cruelty-free.
Mhm.
The avocados that I eat, were harvested by people that are being exploited. So,
do you guys consider hunting a privilege?
Well, yeah. Oh, so we get to brush by the avocado farmers, the horrors that happen, the slavery that happens to get you your avocados. We get to brush past that, all the human suffering. But please, let's talk about the fucking cows at a slaughterhouse. Dr. Firefly says rabbits are friends you can eat. They are friendly, and they are tasty.
Isn't everything a privilege? To a point, right? A lot of people are going literally in their backyard, shooting something, processing it in their house, and putting it right on the table for their family. Like, that to me is beautiful. Hunting can be really expensive. You basically have to have a huge ranch, or you have to spend a ton of money to hunt on someone else's ranch. And then I think what a lot of people see are, right, the trophy hunters and the going over to Africa and hunting.
Hagbard says, all right, I'm out. Work sucks. Hey, Hagbard, thanks for being part of the show, buddy. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.
I have not done that yet. That does not mean that I am not for it or against it. I do know that tourism in Africa is a huge moneymaker for them. I mean, those villages are really poor, and having an entire animal and multiple animals that hunters give them it's big for them.
My question with that,
Yeah, it's fucking huge for them. It's the way they survive. It's not just big for them. It's how they fucking it's how they live.
just be, why would it have to be a tourist? It kind of just sounds like the white savior complex narrative.
It's not a white. Oh my God, you got to be a privileged ninny to suggest that it's the white savior complex that does that. Those industries, however much these people don't like them, it's a way of life. If you're not going to provide an alternative, like a serious, practical, pragmatic alternative, you should shut the fuck up.
Because we're willing to pay a shitload of money.
I remember reading a statistic about like a single elephant in its lifetime can garner over $1 million just from photographic tourism. One single elephant's ivory is about $21,000. So just that in itself, like to me, is evidence that like non-violent tourism, like non-trophy hunting tourism, like is just as lucrative, if not more lucrative than trophy hunting.
Hunting is only acceptable if it's for food.
Well, why would they think hunting is acceptable at all? They should completely reject the premise.
I agree with this.
Come on, Britt. I had to
If this was asked first, I would have disagreed. But after hearing your story, it is
No, but it's not just for food, though. Animals provide way more than just food. Like these assholes sitting in these chairs with these fucking shirts and these pants and the shoes that they're wearing.
necessary to an extent.
If you're hunting for food, then you're saying that your life
Trami says, good God, it's more lucrative to the poacher, numbnuts.
is more important than that other animal's life, and that is more reasonable to me than saying that your pleasure or your trophy or whatever is more important than an animal's life.
There's also safety, which I now realize, and it's like almost 2 hours if you needed a medical emergency evacuation. So yeah, I don't know any killing besides safety and like food, and then we still try to make the most out of the body and the fur, and we'll try to like feed it to the dog team. So
There is just the biology of land, and there's biology of carrying capacity, and there's biology of how these animals have to be, taken care of. I know that if people are not hunting, those deer are gonna starve. There's not enough food, there's not enough water, there's not enough shelter. So to me,
So we have like an actual practical human being that knows what she's talking about. And then you have these assholes.
take one for the team and I will shoot a few deer this year.
Dr. Firefly says overpopulation, ecological impact, pest. Do these people not kill mice or bugs? Exactly. And we got Deborah coming in strong, educating them.
To keep the land in check and the ecosystem in check.
I don't disagree that maintaining equilibrium of an ecosystem is important. My question to that would be like, what's actually sitting at the root cause of the deer overpopulation? Is the root cause that people aren't hunting enough, or is the root cause that their land is being taken away? But me making assumptions, hunting is a Band-Aid solution.
Like, I wish I could answer a very smart and based on data, done. I mean, look at Los Angeles and Dallas, and where are animals going? Right. They're dying. But what is the solution? I don't know.
the US a lot of the times has tried to decide what animals need to go or not without the guidance of indigenous people who have been doing this for thousands of years and who have relationships with the animals. There are solutions, there are people that know it, and we need to push people in power to uplift voices who have this knowledge.
My diet is healthier.
Oh, look at that.
Hey, girl.
Hey. The question is healthier than what? I chose to come up here because my diet is healthier than when I was not eating a vegan diet. I love a Beyond Burger. Is that healthier than...
I love a Beyond Burger. I love things that I can locally source from Walmart. Dr. Firefly says, laugh out loud, I bet I have far more closer relationship with nature and animals than this girl. Yeah, you definitely do. Tarami says, experience passed down in the blood somehow. I'm sorry, I can't stand things like this. No, they're not things like this, but things like this actually kind of tell you what the average vegan thinks, and they do. These people aren't activists. They're people that are asked to be on a panel show. They're asked to be on a panel show. So there's probably more of, you're getting more of the experience of what the median vegan thinks than watching activists that have their prepared talking points.
Eating rice, beans, and collard greens every day? No, it's not. Do I believe that eating plant-based is healthier than eating animal products? Yes.
And if you're super, super intentional and informed about what you're putting in your body, then it's going to be healthier than someone who's not.
That's also healthier on an emotional and mental level. There's this detachment, this emotional detachment that you're going through when you're eating an animal, and that to me is emotionally unhealthy. I think awareness is one of the healthiest things that we can have.
Dr. Firefly says, and I'm pretty much a crazy, dirty hippie who just happened to also homestead. Silly people. Well, I can tell you this, Dr. Firefly, if you have any interest, I have a YouTube channel, and on Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be having a debate between a homesteading local mobile butcher and a vegan activist. On Friday night, 9 p.m., That's what we're doing. That's why we're watching all these vegan videos. It's because we're kind of gearing up for the debate. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you so much, Rami, for dropping the link. I think you may find it interesting, and I think most people will find it interesting because Prophet, as wild as he can be in the chat, is actually a very reasonable dude.
I know if you like search veganism like online, especially on YouTube, you can see very dangerous vegan diets being like just told to like a massive audience of like young impressionable people. But Oreos are vegan, Twizzlers are vegan, and it's been 1 a.m. and I'm down to sleep with Oreos. I'm just like, why did I do that?
Just wait till you're 30.
Yeah, I'm 24, so I feel like.
So I just eat Oreos and Twizzlers because I'm doing the right thing.
I'll just keep on kicking. I don't know.
Coming here, I want to be very careful in extremes. Like my meat is, my diet is healthier. I don't know that. I don't know you. I don't know you. I don't know you. I believe the meat I eat is better than what you would get at McDonald's. I just think it would be so hard to be a vegan. Like it seems like so much work.
There's a learning curve.
It's not hard in the grand scheme of things. I feel a lot better putting in the work because I feel more empowered, I guess you could say. The definition of veganism is just as far as what is practicable and possible. It's all about doing your best.
Hey, thank y'all.
Hey, we all love each other. Oh, no.
Hey,
I did not mean to click that. Okay. So Travis says we went through a series of Nico Stubler's, the guy on here he's debating, videos a few streams ago. Yes, we did. It's archived on YouTube. I'll throw you the link if you want to look at it. It is unlisted at the moment because I don't want to scare away Nico, because getting a vegan activist to come and actually debate is very difficult. And I have some amount of respect for the dude, for actually coming through and doing it. I will say that I do have respect for this guy for doing that. It's gonna be a fun civil debate. I'm glad you found us as well, Firefly. We got a good group of people here. It's a good community. And we like to have fun. We like to talk about things and have fun, but we're not mean-spirited. We come at these things from good faith, and we try to hear what people say, and and just talk through it. So, welcome, and please check out the debate. I think you're gonna have a lot of fun if you do. But Travis says after these streams, Nico comes off as reasonable. Ooh, I don't know. He did say some crazy shit. He said some crazy shit. In my opinion, he said some crazy shit. Talking about equity and about urban environments versus animal rescues, animal habitats in nature. Out in the boonies, he said. That was inherently bigoted. He's got some spice. He's got some weird things. I'm not even gonna say. We'll find out on Friday. I'm gonna let him say for himself. But that's going to be a stream for tonight, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. And we'll see you guys probably Friday night. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it tomorrow. But Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our YouTube page. We will be back. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. And thanks, guys, for joining. Thanks for contributing to the chat. Honestly, you guys make the show. You make the show so much better, so much sharper. It's not just me talking to myself, however much fun that is. I really do appreciate it. And have a good night.